What's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? You know what I'm saying? You know, it's Sunday night. Y'all know how we do it on a Sunday evening. We make sure, what's up, Seth? We get it in. We get in where we fit in. And y'all know how we start this thing off. First, we're gonna get this intro cracking, and then we're gonna get into it. We got some roundtable action. Everybody wanna say what's up? Who all we got in roundtable tonight before we get this intro going?
Shit, you got your boy Welcome to Third Coast Wink. You already know how it go.
You got your boy, Duck Scout.
Already.
Your boy Spitz in here.
Hector Flores in the mix.
Already. Hector and Spitz in the mix.
Yeah, your boy Spitz in here. What's up?
Already, shit. With that being said, man, let's get this intro cracking. Let's just get into it. Never miss another live stream again. Hit that subscribe button, ring that notification bell, and click see all notifications. All right, what's the motherfucking deal, Sauce Nation? Y'all know how we start this thing off, man. We're gonna go ahead and get some roll call action going on. But man, if this is your first time coming to Sauce Sports, this is Sauce Sports. It's a Houston, Texas Homer network. So we talk about all sports, but only Houston, man. You know what I'm saying? We got to keep it in the house. And tonight is the roundtable. The roundtable is something we do generally every Sunday where we speak on the Texans. We know everybody's favorite NFL team, you know what I mean? And we're just going to splash a little bit of flavor on that. Talk about some things that you may not normally get heard talked about. Like I say, I am your boy Ed Honcho, your Houston homeboy. I'm a fan talking to the fans. I never call myself expert. We got Spitz in the mix with us. We got that boy Wink in the mix with us. Who knows where Screwston is, but we got Hector in the mix with us, you know what I'm saying? We got Duck Scout in the mix tonight. So we're going to have some good sauce. We're going to splash some good flavor tonight and talk about a couple of things. But I want to get it started off. You know, we always start off with a topic and the shit start going AWOL, but it is what it is. I want to talk about, you know, with Brian Cushing leaving and, you know, the considerations as to how his legacy was when he left. You know, I want to talk about Texans who belong in the Ring of Honor. When it comes down to it, when it's all said and done. So, like I said, as we getting some of these folks are getting in and we getting everything ready, I want the round table to kind of spill their sauce on that, get their minds on that. I'm going to ask y'all a couple of questions about a couple of guys. And, you know, of course, Sauce Nation, this is a very interactive, participatory type thing. So if y'all got comments, questions, things like that, make sure y'all drop it in the comment section and we will have the sauce line open later for if y'all want to call in directly. That is, if y'all ain't scared. You know, some of y'all be acting like, you know, like your nuts ain't dropped, like y'all scared to make phone calls and shit, man. Ain't nobody gonna bite you over here. It's nothing but love. So let's see who all we got in the mix, man. Like I say, we see Seth, Jay Dizzle, what's the motherfucking deal? Duck Scott in this mix. VD, Killer KB, Rick James, Dewey, Jeremiah, Trizzy, what's the motherfucking deal? Kyle Wynn, Joseph Snow. Let me see Hector from that Sharpstown, Arkansas in the motherfucking mix. Oh yeah, VD. Yeah, I forgot, man. It's Sunday, so VD child, get that definitely get that moderator action. He won the most sauce last week. So congratulations to VD Child. You got that wrench action going. Mr. Agent Pikachu, Orlando, Mahadra. I don't even know how to say that one. New York in the motherfucking big stuff. But like I said, let's get into it. And like I said, if we missed y'all, man, it's nothing but love. But let's just get into the conversation. Let's get into the topic at hand. So like I said, we'll start off with Brian Cushing since he's the latest guy to leave. And a lot of people had plenty of love for Cushing, you know, before this last year. But it seems like more people had love for him now after, you know, he's gone than honestly had love for him in the last couple of years when he wasn't really performing up to par. But, you know, it's funny how things change when, you know, memories come back in the mind and stuff like that. I'm not knocking Brian Cushing. Trust me, I like him. But I want to know how y'all feel. Do you guys... Huh? Do y'all?
Is that XSF? You know when you break up with a girl and then all of a sudden you're not getting any, and then like you're like, damn.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's going on there.
His whole situation, man. Don't get me wrong. He has nostalgia. You know, I love Brian Cushing for who he was, what he provided as a leader. You know what I'm saying? He made big plays. You know what I'm saying? He was an impact for quite some time, and he got dudes in the right position. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I didn't really have any problem with the PED scandal because I already know what reason he was doing it for, which is recovery. That's the only reason why people in the NFL do it, because it doesn't help with skills or anything like that. So, you know, I mean, my heart goes out to him and his family. You know what I'm saying? I could pretty much see him getting locked up by some other team. You know, I just don't see him being pushed off to the wayside because I think somebody could still use his talent in some way, shape, form, or fashion.
Okay. I definitely agree with that. Anybody else have any feelings on Brian Cushing ended up in the?
Well, see, like I said in my video, like he was my favorite player on the defense, but because of the injuries and what you was paying him, he wasn't really worth it anymore. I mean, from what he was really giving you, yeah, because he was the heartbeat of the defense. Yeah. Like the defense moved with him. I know Watt might have been the best player of the defense for the past couple of years, but he was the intensity. Yeah. He's the one who brought that it factor as far as that drive that came to the defense. Because JJ might be talented, but he's not a motivator.
Yeah.
You're very right about that.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that held true because we can go by the 2012 and 13 seasons. Hell, even the 14 season to a fault because middle linebacker was such a problem for us for a few years, along with free safety and the fact that the impact that this man made. I mean, he was an impact player in the right system around the right pieces, and he made the defense a hell of a lot better.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I mean, the game that I always think about with Cushing is definitely that San Diego Chargers Monday night game, that the first game of the season, where he pretty much just started that rally.
Mm-hmm.
That's kind of what Cushing was he was the guy that you rallied behind. Like you knew that he'll do something to like set that fire for the team.
Yeah, he definitely was that fire.
Speaking of that, like when you look back at that 2013 team that went 2-14. We always look at that Seattle game when Matt Schaub threw that pick, that pick six to Richard Sherman. But what people tend to forget about in that game, Brian Cushing, I think in the end of the third, beginning of the fourth, went out with a concussion. And once he went on the concussion, that's when Seattle started moving the ball. Seattle didn't move the ball at the beginning of that game.
And we got to talk about that player, how he stood beast mode up. Like the fact how he stood, I had never seen beast mode get stood up like that by anybody. Not even to this date, I've never seen.
You talking about on that forced fumble?
On that forced fumble, and the fact that he got it back, and put us in a position because that was when Brian Cushing was still Brian Cushing, and it's just a shame to see him. I can tell he suffered from a lot of mental, he suffered mentally. I think physically he knew his body couldn't get where to certain places, and he couldn't play sideline to sideline anymore. How he was, pre-injury, because both of his knee injuries were devastating and they weren't his fault. You get a cut block to the back, and then Jamal Charles did the shit that he did. It was just, it's just, you start thinking too much, and you can tell even in the later seasons that he was still thinking too much because he was doing everything he could not to get injured. Yeah,
exactly. He was playing it safe. He was trying to play and protect his body too much. Exactly.
And I wonder if that has something to do with because he was saying that the last bust that he had was to do with some type of mental health medicine that he was taking to. So I'm wondering if that that definitely is a factor that you have to consider. Knowing that you can't perform at a level that you once did. I mean, everybody said we've all had our athletic days and things like that. Some of y'all still young out there, so enjoy them while you can. But it comes to that point when you look back, you're like, damn, I used to be able to do, such and such and such. And when you know that you're losing, especially on a level where you're getting paid for it, you can only imagine, that you start thinking about your career, you start thinking about your family, you start thinking about a lifestyle that you've been accustomed to, which could soon possibly be coming to an end. You know what I mean? And so I wouldn't be surprised if there was some other mental issues. It could just be that love of the game, because you could tell that he's somebody who did it for the love of the game, because he enjoyed being out there. He had that Warriors mentality. Even though it wasn't always the smartest thing to do, like headbutting motherfuckers with your helmet off, but you'll always remember Cush for shit like that, because that is that intensity and that fire that he did bring to the table, like y'all were talking about. So, I mean, just a quick yes or no. When it's all said and done, does Brian Cushing end up in the Texans Ring of Honor?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So everybody on the consensus that that he ends up in the nobody.
Yeah, I feel it's a no-brainer. I mean, you can't he's the leading tackler of all time so far for the Houston Texans, considering what other people are going to be able to do. It's just not, you can't, this team has been so successful with Brian Cushing, and he's brought a mentality that this team never had until he got here. So I absolutely agree he should be in the Ring of Honor. It's a no-brainer to me.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, he was Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah. Okay.
He was even you can argue that he was probably, well, I don't know about now, but like he was definitely one of the best to do it, especially in a Texans uniform.
Yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with you on that one. Regardless of, because like I said, I have to say yeah too. Because regardless, like I can't take the double standard. I already tell you, I don't give a shit about PEDs. That shit don't mean anything to me. So I know that the others may have an issue with that, but I don't think that's relevant to this situation.
We can't act like at one point in time when we looked in the Texan Stadium that we didn't see 56 jerseys everywhere.
Yeah.
I still got
like
my
that.
56 jersey.
They were everywhere.
I still see them now.
Jerseys are everywhere. Like, the man was the truth, bro.
I mean, to me, the Ring of Honor, you got to check off 2 or 3 specific things. Okay. To me, you have to either play at a franchise record, like with Cushing, led the Texans in tackles all time.
Okay.
You got to help your city, and you got to be liked. Does he check off 2 or 3? Yep. Yeah, he checks out all 3.
Yeah.
All 3. Yep. So easily gets in for me.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So that's a good one. So Cushing is a resounding yes. No issues with that one whatsoever. All right.
How do they feel in the chat? In the chat,
Jay Dizzle. I think Jay Dizzle. I think Jay Dizzle is the only one I've seen that's been said no. Actually, I see Mahadra. I hope I'm saying that right. And I wonder if you're saying no in the chat. I'll be curious to why y'all say no, and if y'all want to save your reason why you're saying no, to call in on the Sauceline and speak your opinion. Make sure you do that too. So when we crack that open later on, so make sure if y'all want to save it for that, I'd definitely like to hear y'all's opinion on that one.
A lot of people say no. They're gonna say no because of the suspensions. Mm-hmm. That's really why the people are saying no.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could see people saying it for that. Jay Dill say he don't think he did enough.
What?
I got a lot going on.
He's leading he led the franchise in tackles. Like what else do you want him to do?
Yeah.
He led us in tackles. He was the vocal
at a position that wasn't even his natural position. Mm-hmm. Remember, he was a right outside linebacker when we drafted him, and he played middle linebacker and was one of the top middle linebackers in the league for quite some time until injuries started happening. He was Luke Kuechly before Luke Kuechly happened.
Yeah.
Like there were conversations back then where people were comparing him to Patrick Willis.
Yeah.
Like he was that good.
Yeah.
Yes, he was.
He's a 2-time All-Pro at 2 different positions. Like you said, outside linebacker and middle linebacker. He was All-Pro in both of them and Rookie of the Year.
That's crazy.
So how did he not do enough? I don't get that.
Okay. And he said, well, what those tackles lead us to? I think when he was on the field, those tackles, we actually had other pieces around him. When he was actually the leader of that defense, that's what led us to those number 1 defense. That's what led us to those top-notch defenses. Because you saw whenever he was absent from the situation, as good as Watt was, he wasn't really he wasn't able to create that same drive. And like you said, he's not a leader. It's different when you are a superstar, physical specimen type player, because you can't quite teach certain things. It's harder for you to encourage other players because maybe you see things differently because of your God-given gifts or the gifts that you worked hard to hone. And so that's why I say with Cushing being out, we saw the decline in that defense. I mean, immediately. So that's what lets you know that he was a factor. But like I say, everybody got their opinion. What's up, Wise? What's the motherfucking deal? You say he don't feel like he helped the team accomplish anything. Okay.
Well, I mean, he's a middle linebacker. What else? Like, he did what he was supposed to do. He helped set up the defense, and he made tackles. Like, that's basically what a middle linebacker does, except for maybe coverage.
Yeah. Okay.
And, I mean, and we got to think about this, too. He didn't really accomplish anything with the Texans because we just got a quarterback, a legitimate quarterback.
Right.
So what's he supposed to do? Is he supposed to get under center too? Like,
pretty much, what else did everybody else do?
Yeah, he did.
I mean, if you're going to that point, then like no one deserves to be in the Ring of Honor.
Exactly.
I mean, with that same argument could be applied to everybody. Andre Johnson. What did he accomplish?
It doesn't apply to Andre Johnson at all. He already knows he doesn't have to explain himself at all.
But did he lead us anything?
He doesn't have to explain a damn thing.
Oh man.
Oh, Jay doesn't want that.
Look,
Sauceline.
okay. We can look. We can crack it open and get the conversation going in. So that way, I mean, we can.
Because I see Jay Dizzle already asking for the Sauceline. He
Yeah,
must be able to give his opinion.
We can crack
I
it
mean,
open.
we might as well go ahead and give the fans what they want, so they can start calling.
We can go crack it up. We cracked off Sauceline. Look, let me make sure it's open on my end. We got the number open. Anyway, Jay did say this typing shit ain't working. He need to speak his mind, man. I feel you.
Yeah. We need more like you, Jay Dizzle, because at the end of the day, we want to hear more of y'all calls, not just no 2 and 3 calls. Like, that ain't enough.
Yeah, like I said, I've been starting trying to plug folks in. So that way I know when y'all calling. Like, some of them I ain't got everybody in. So like I say, some of y'all who are frequent callers, if y'all hadn't, make sure you text your name to the Sauceline so I know who it is if I don't got you locked in already. But Sauceline should be open. It should be activated. I may have to wiggle with the cord a little bit to make sure we're hearing the right audio and everything, but you should be Gucci. Okay, so with that being said, though, so we'll leave that open for that to do its thing. Is the bank open? The bank should be open too.
Oh, I see Unique in here. I ain't seen you. When the last time y'all seen Unique in the stream? I ain't seen Unique in forever now.
She pulled up on us earlier, a little earlier in the hold on, the bank ain't open. All right, now the bank should be open. Yeah, she had pulled up on us earlier. It's always good when Miss Unique is in the stream.
Everybody's saying they getting their notifications and shit late, bro. YouTube need to start, bro, getting their shit together.
Yeah,
bro.
that's crazy. But I noticed that because I knew that's what was happening because as we was talking, because I sent out the thing early. Usually, it'll be some folks in the chat early as soon as they get the notifications and things like that.
Yep.
And I've been noticing that as of late, like that hadn't been really happening. So I know that. Look, I work. We ain't charging you up, man. We know you got your thing going on. We just saying it's good when you can fall through. But yeah, YouTube been on some other shit, man. It's on some other shit, but we'll get it right. You know what I'm saying? But as we talk about that, man, let's go on to the next one. Staying on the defensive side of the ball. Matter of fact, staying with the same position. I want to know how y'all feel about DeMeco Ryans. Does he deserve to be placed in the Texans' Ring of Honor?
I say no because he didn't get to do enough. He didn't get to do enough because he was traded away. I think he stays at least 2 more seasons. He easily is a shoe-in.
Okay.
I agree with Wink on this.
Yeah, I'm with Wink on that one.
Okay.
Well, he was the all-time leading tackler before Cushing, so and he was rookie of the year too.
Well, I still needed him to be here at least another 2 seasons. I don't think I'm gonna lay off of that because he didn't.
I feel he only played 2 playoff games as a Texan, so yeah.
Yeah.
We wasn't quite around when the transition happened, but I was all like DeMeco, and I feel like it was unfortunate for him, but he was just put in a situation where it was actually better for him to get traded because of how things changed up. But it
was a salary cap issue because that was the same year that Mario left, and I think they had tape off on the table for Mario, but Mario, he chased that check to Buffalo.
Yeah, and DeMeco played his ass off with the Eagles for years.
Yeah.
Until he got injured in that 2014 season, and he hadn't been the same since.
Yeah.
Okay. So what I'm getting the consensus on DeMeco is a likable player, but just didn't do enough to really get there. Okay. All right, another one. So we're going to hop to the offensive side of the ball, and then we're going to talk about some other things that I've seen a couple of comments and questions that have been asked we definitely going to get to. We definitely going to make sure that we speak on because some very interesting things that have been pushed around the league, and I've gotten some Texan things. Arian Foster.
No brainer. I got it right now.
Yep, he's in.
Okay. So everybody.
He might go in this year.
Okay. So let's see. So everybody resounding yes on Arian. No questions asked.
No questions asked.
Okay. I can see that because there he was.
He carried the offense. He carried the offense for like 3 years, 4 years.
Okay.
Right. He
see.
took you. We thought of we're not even going to talk about Arian Foster's impact in playoff games.
Yeah.
We haven't even talked about that yet. His playoff game production was off the charts. At one point, he had the most yards over that period of time, yards and touchdowns, more than anybody else in the league.
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
Nobody was seeing Arian Foster in the goal line situations, getting touchdowns. He led the league with like
twice. He stayed getting double-digit touchdowns. He could catch the ball. He could pass protect. He was a smart player. His deceptive speed. He has the greatest stiff arm I've ever seen. It's not even close.
Yeah. Not to mention, he got a couple touchdowns throwing.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
I forgot all about that shit myself. Okay, so those look like some easy peasy ones. I've seen some people name a couple of names in the chat, so I'm gonna throw those out there. These aren't guys. Some of these aren't necessarily guys that I would consider, but I'll make sure I put them in the mix. Dwayne Brown.
It's no brainer.
Yeah.
Next to Bruce Matthews, he's probably the greatest lineman in a Houston football team franchise. Period.
Look,
I'd say he's a little bit better than Bruce Matthews, or at least on the same level.
The only argument people can have against Dwayne Brown is how he left. Other than that, there's no question at all.
Yeah,
like that's it. And I'll overlook how he left because I get it. He's got to do what's best for him. And I mean, we were probably trending to moving away from him anyway, honestly. Because it looks like we're doing kind of a youth movement on our team.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I could agree with that. I do see that we are trying to get a little bit younger in certain places.
J.J. Watt is honestly Kareem Jackson, J.J. Watt are probably the oldest players on the team now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, with J.J. going, yeah.
Okay.
After them, they're the oldest.
All right, Jay did say he on the fence with Arian, saying injury prone.
Bro, that don't have nothing to do. That has nothing to do with he was an All-Pro, like what, 2 times? He was a 2-time All-Pro.
It's that impact too.
Well, that's the thing. People act like these athletes can control that. They can't control that. They don't choose. Oh, I'm gonna go get hurt. No, that's
and Jay Dizzle. How do you justify him being the workhorse and him having the top carries for 3 years straight, bro? He averaged 350 carries a year for 3 years. That's stupid. That's dumb.
Exactly. It's all about production and what you do in the time frame that you play. It don't matter how long did you play. I mean, look at Terrell Davis is in the Hall of Fame. Gale Sayers in the Hall of Fame. They had short careers.
Yes.
It's what you do when you're playing. And when Foster was in the Texans uniform, he was that dude when it came to being a running back. He was a top 3 running back, if not the best running back at the league at that time. Without even question. His first year as a starter, 1,600 yards, 16 touchdowns. It's not even close.
Give Arian Foster Tom Brady's help. What is he? I want somebody to thoroughly ask. I want somebody to thoroughly answer that question. I'm not just throwing it out there as a rhetorical question. I want you to state case for case, knowing what we know about Arian Foster with line, no line. What is Arian Foster and where's Arian Foster at right now in terms of legacy? How you view him? What player is he right now if he has Tom Brady's health?
He's up there with the greats to me.
Yeah, that's what I say. You might be talking one of the greatest of all time.
Who does he pass? Who does he pass up? Great wise Hall of Famers do y'all pass up? Honestly, who does he pass up? What names can you throw out? Who is he better than?
I'd have to think on this one. Give me a minute and I can spit you some names. It's because there are some guys that I'm thinking of, but I'm not sure if I want to put him over them yet.
Yeah,
like all-time guys, you know?
Yeah, you really have to go and look at some numbers for me just to do a hypothetical like that. But I mean, you're still talking about. You might be talking top 5, you know, with what he did. I mean, and that's not just to be by.
Him and Adrian Peterson were the best running backs in the league. When Adrian Peterson was on NFL Network the year he broke the 2,000 year mark, he didn't say he shitted on Shady McCoy and was like, "Nah, Arian Foster is that dude."
All right, let me see. I see Jay Dizzle called in, but I'm trying to figure out why it ain't go through here. So if you can, you know, keep trying. I don't know why it ain't. It just showed up on the missed call. It ain't show the actual call as it was.
All right. I think I'll put it like I think Arian Foster, if he was just healthy for his entire career, I think he'd be considered better than Barry Sanders. I'm willing to say I think he's be considered better than Barry Sanders.
He got way more touchdowns.
Oh yeah,
his touchdown production was Arian Foster's touchdown production is unlike anybody else I've probably ever seen. Barry Sanders is probably not really gonna get a clear consensus from everybody else, considering what he did in a short amount of time, playing 10 years, and he was able to amount with 15,000 yards. That's a hell of a feat right there. His touchdowns aren't where they really need to be, but his impact on what he did to the game is man, it's not too many people really revolutionized the game at running back, but him and Bo Jackson, I could say, probably revolutionized the game at running back.
I mean, and see, what's very underrated about Foster is he would take a 4-yard carry and make it a 6-yard carry. He would take a no gain and turn it to a 3-yard carry. Like, that was very underrated. Yeah. Like, when you watch like the dude that people have been talking about for the past couple of days, Lamar Miller, he can't do something like that. And how many times have you seen Arian Foster take the ball to the left, and then because all his blocking was messed up, cut it all the way back and take it to the right and get a first down?
Prime play, Spitz. Prime play. A couple of plays I'm gonna go over with Arian Foster in that instance. What you talking about? I mentioned this play on the other podcast, but I'm gonna do it again right now since we're talking about Arian Foster. Arian Foster, the 2014 season, we in Jacksonville. We on the goal line.
I know what play you're talking about.
The play was started to the right.
I know what play.
The play started to the right. The entire right side crashed down. Like, everybody pretty much got flattened. The defensive front and the O-line. He catches his balance. Ryan Fitzpatrick gets him that last little block. He stays on his feet. He shows his strength, and he gets in the damn end zone. That run right there showed me what kind of man Arian Foster was. And we're not even going to talk about juke moves, because if we're going to talk about the same season and what he did to the Titans, when he did that juke and he juked the whole team and went to the left and went down to the sideline, he got caught like at the very end. His cuts, as big as he was, his cuts shouldn't have been as crisp as they were. And his stiff arm was just crazy.
And when he ran so smooth. And speaking about the stiff arm, because I got a homeboy of mine who's a Titans fan. He always talks about Derrick Henry's stiff arm is undefeated. Derrick Henry's stiff arm ain't got nothing on Foster. I'm sorry.
No.
He got nothing on Foster.
I didn't see him throw grown men. Like, we're not even gonna talk about all the time he stiff armed a player in a Titans or Colts jersey. And
his first start against the Colts in 2010.
Bro,
that 200-yard game.
Season, that same Jags game. Remember when he broke on that 50-yard run and the safety Cyprian came down and he stiff-armed the shit out of her and ran for like 50 yards? Like, that was crazy. Like, I could go on and on. Oh, and we're not gonna talk about the greatest stiff arm ever, what he did to Chris Crocker in the first playoff game on the sideline for that 43-yard touchdown. That was by far the greatest. Oh my! And to maintain his balance and go to the end zone, that was, man, bro. He won me over. Like, that whole playoff game, like, I was already a fan, but like that right there put him on the upper echelon of football players in the league. In the following season, he led the league in touchdowns, bro. You don't do that if you're not a special talent.
Yeah, exactly.
And he was doing this against dudes like AP, LaShawn McCoy, Marshawn Lynch. We're talking about dudes when they was at their prime, when they was really running backs. You talking about new dudes who's coming to the league like Doug Martin and all of these guys, man. Like, they were having phenomenal seasons, and he was just putting up hellified numbers, bro. It was just crazy to me.
All right, I tweaked some stuff on this Sauceline. My bad, not to cut you off. Y'all want to try again? I don't know if it was on the wireless signal, if it's on the cellular signal, whatever it may be. If y'all want to try again, y'all know sometimes this bitch be tripping, but we're going to make it shake. So my fault, Doug. I didn't mean to cut you off. You can carry on. You were saying that.
Oh, no, go ahead. Go ahead, man.
Oh, no, I was just talking about the Sauceline. But, all right, so Arian Foster is definitely a yes. We got Dwayne Brown as a yes. Cushing is a yes. I've seen a couple of comments. This one, might probably have to pump the brakes on. But Connor Barwin.
No.
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 I've seen a lot of people. He had a couple of good years, man, but again, with that consistency, with the, your records as far as the friend, like I say, using Duck Scouts measuring platform, you know what I'm saying? Like, what have you really done as far as record breaking on the franchise? What have you done for the city, and how well liked was he? Now, he was a liked dude. People liked him. Like, he had a good personality and things. But shit, they liked Sean Cody too. But what does that tell you? I just don't see. Connor Barwin just don't do it for me. But I saw a bunch of people in there mentioning Barwin, and some people said that he was. I think somebody said that he was better than Cushing. How about this one? Leckler.
Whoever said he was better than Cushing and smoking drugs, bro. I bet you one of them people that we see in the street on Scott smoking Sherm in the middle of the street, just butt naked like that. That's exactly how you sound right now. You sound like you smoke Sherm. Whoever said that Connor Barwin is better than Brian Cushing, bro. He's nowhere near better than Brian Cushing. Even when he went to Philly, he wasn't better. Period.
All right, now so I see somebody also asking about Shane Leckler.
Absolutely, but he gonna probably end up being in the Raiders ring of honor if anything.
That's what I would think too.
I mean, he has to be up there for greatest punter of all time. Okay. I mean,
and still ticking.
142 years old, still going.
Yep.
That should be easy. That really should be easy.
Yeah, but I would agree. He probably ends up with the Raiders more so than. I mean, I wouldn't mind taking a little bit of credit for him. Fuck it.
I mean, he could be on both.
Yeah. I mean, look, he was honored. He's a very honorable man. He was honored in two teams. Here's one real interesting. I'd like to hear the comments on this one. Does Matt Schaub belong in the Texans Ring of Honor?
No. I mean, we laughing.
There's a debate. There's a debate for that one.
That is debatable.
You know what? I can argue in his favor. I laugh, but I can argue in his favor though. I could rather legitimately.
He did lead the league. He did lead the league one year. I mean, it's crazy the fact that Matt Schaub threw 4,700 yards and he had the most yards over Rivers, Breeze, Brady, Peyton Manning. You know what I'm saying, on the team, that was about his average or that was starting to come into its own. It's absolutely ridiculous knowing that this was the case. I'm torn on this because I can say yes, but then again, I can really say no because he had more seasons where he wasn't really as productive and he was hurt than he was where he could really, because we were really going to talk about Matt Schaub. Matt Schaub only really had like a good maybe 3.5, 4 seasons where he was I can't even say 4 seasons. I'll say 3 seasons where he was 4. No, I can give him 4. I can say 4 seasons where he was probably a good quarterback.
Like I said, I can argue for him because, like you say, he led the league in passing. That's before the rule change. That's before the whole targeting defensive receivers. That's before people were throwing the ball like they were. That's before everybody started exploding 5,000-yard seasons. At the time when he threw for those 4,700 yards, that was 7th all time in NFL history. 7th all time.
That's not crazy.
He also led the league in passer rating too. So. And then the following year, he was top 5 in passing.
Hold on one second. I think we got Jay Dizzle calling in. What's the motherfucking deal?
Hey, Honcho.
Make sure the
Jay
sound's
Dizzle.
not active.
What's going on, Jay Dizzle?
Jay Dizzle, you can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you barely, though.
From the land of the trio, what's the motherfucking deal?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Man, who is if? Oh, my bad.
It might be on my end. This little thing might not be all the way picking it up correctly. That whole got to put it in just right.
Seasons.
You know what I'm saying?
He played really well for 3, and those 3 seasons he had over 100 tackles.
Here's on here.
Hit all 16 games.
Hey, give me a second. The call actually went through that time, but shit.
I hear him just fine. I don't know what's going on.
You can hear him? I can't hear him. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear him.
Yeah, I hear him.
Okay, it must be on my end.
We can hear him just fine.
I couldn't hear shit. My fault. I done hung up on you. I couldn't hear a damn thing. Give me un segundo. I wonder why that is. Let me see. We got this set up. Everything else kosher over here.
I mean, he was breaking up a little bit, but I could hear him. He was starting to make his point.
I could hear him pretty loud and clear, honestly.
Okay, well, that's wild. I couldn't hear shit. I couldn't hear a motherfucking thing. So my fault, Jay Dizzle, man. If you want to call back, I couldn't hear shit on my end.
Do y'all see this FN dude? Like,
no, what's happening?
Yeah, I got rid of him. He was being real disrespectful.
Okay, like I just started seeing something. I saw something about Unique saying something disrespectful, and then the call came in. I was trying to catch up in the chat and shit. Give me 1 second. I don't know if it's look. If you call back, I won't be able to tell. Y'all have to let me know if y'all can hear it, because I can't fucking. Let's see, that's what it said. What we got? Somebody, what was shaking with that? I said the Eagles was cool, kind of barring at 12 sack.
That's why we got Dusk. That's why we got Dusk out as the moderator.
Exactly.
Go ahead. He doing the right thing.
Holding it down. Yeah, like I said, I guess there was a whole bunch of commentary. I see all his messages gone and shit. Well,
yeah, I mean,
and
while I'm in here, I am trying to still keep an eye on the chat too.
Okay, yeah, that's what I'm slacking. I'm doing a little too much. I need to make sure I keep my eye on it too.
Yeah, VD in here doing his job. Yeah, they saying, do your job. Do your job.
VD, why you playing Madden?
Look, you know, they gonna get on you.
Tripping. He talking about he playing Madden when he's supposed to be moderating.
Oh man, VD.
Time him out, bro. Time him out, bro. Put him on the timeout.
God damn, man. My fault. Like I say, Jay Dizzle, mate, if you come back in on that, I apologize on that. I wouldn't hear it. I couldn't hear it. But we were saying,
Jay Dizzle, make sure you call back in, bro.
Cause yeah, that's my fault on the hang up. I couldn't hear shit, so I didn't know shit was going through. See, I'll just have to let me know if y'all hear it or not. But with this one, let me see. So we said, let me see. We covered that one. Then we covered Schaub and Schaub. Yeah, that's what we were talking about. Schaub making a case for Matt Schaub, whether or not he belongs in the Texans Ring of Honor. So, me personally, it's a tough one. It's a real tough one because I don't want the same guy going in the Ring of Honor, is the guy that not only he may have our most passing yards in the season, but shit, he's the same dude that also has the fucking pick six record,
Yeah.
And so it's like you feel
his last season was not worse than 17 season. It just wasn't.
It was just awful. I don't want that to be the guy. Like that almost seems like you're setting the standard of, and we have for a few seasons, but a standard of mediocrity, exactly. And it's just like, I don't know about that one.
I don't think he'll get in.
I'm gonna go no too, but just because I also kind of want to look at it like these guys are going to be the guys that we're picking to represent our franchise. Like looking back at it now, Matt Schaub, would you still sign him to that extension?
No. Especially knowing we could have got Peyton Manning when we could have.
And then you got to think about it with the Ring of Honor. These guys are supposed to be looked at as icons. And I mean, at the end of it all, would you say Matt Schaub was an icon for the Houston Texans?
No,
absolutely not.
So that kind of just ends the conversation.
People. That's why I was on the fence. But that's why I was on the fence when you just said that. But Hector, you really just helped me just then, because at the end of the day, we have these certain criteria, and I just don't see him being any of them things that you just said. And we even saw Andre Johnson come out of character in that Raiders game that season. When he threw that pick and in the end zone or whatever he was, and I never seen Andre Johnson yell at anybody on the side on the sidelines, and him and Matt Schaub was going at it, and it just seemed like had he been a lot closer,
Cortland Finnegan.
Andre would have leaned on him.
he would have got Cortland Finnegan.
Okay, Colo, we got a call coming in. Hopefully we can hear this one. Y'all let me know if y'all hearing it. What's the motherfucking deal?
Yeah, man, this is Cameron from Southwest Houston, man. How you doing, man?
What's going on with it, man? We hear you. We hear you just fine. At least I hear you just fine.
Yeah. I hear you too.
What?
I hear him too.
I can't hear shit. What's going on my motherfucking end?
Wait. Can the stream hear it?
I can't hear it.
Can the stream?
Y'all let me know if y'all can hear it on camera. No, if y'all could, I can't hear anything. Oh, well, I know.
When he was talking, I heard him.
Yeah, I was hearing him just fine.
Yeah, I can hear him too.
Look, I gotta make a statement. Sometimes, players fuck up.
Y'all can hear me?
Jeez, I'm deaf.
Okay, hello. Okay, something shaking. But players fuck up, man, and I keep forgetting. So all y'all who have called in and I have not been hearing y'all, well, there's a reason for that. That is no fault of y'all's own.
Oh my God.
Then I got to slide the other headphones in so I can hear on the call. I'll be forgetting that I got to swap. It's two different sources.
Oh shit, Darren just showed up.
You say Darren just pulled up?
Darren just showed up.
Yeah, I see him. I see him in here.
Let's shut the stream down. Darren has showed up. It's over. Oh, it was a good stream, everybody. Nah. But nah. So
nah,
man,
let's let the GM talk.
All right, I apologize, man. Everybody who called in, that one was on me. I didn't have the right headphones in, so that's why they could hear y'all. I couldn't hear. I don't know if they heard y'all on the stream or not, so I apologize if anything I missed. You know, players fuck up. I forgot we booted up the Sauceline early, and I ain't put my plugs in, so that's on me. You know, I'll take that L, but we will prevail. Just for a second, as we were just on the fence about the Matt Schaub thing, and that's a no because I know everybody said, you know, you want the guy that represents your franchise. I got one more in mind, and then we're going to talk about some other things. Johnathan Joseph.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Yes.
I mean, dude's arguably the best free agent we've ever gotten, so kind of a big deal.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's in.
Yeah, and then with leads and interceptions and things like that. So
definitely one of those.
I think he leads in pick sixes too.
Yeah. I'm gonna go as far as to say this: Johnathan Joseph not on this team. No DB on this team is good. Period. Especially Kareem Jackson.
I agree with that, honestly. I mean, Johnathan Joseph was by no means like one of the greatest corners. He's not one of the greatest corners of all time, but he was still good enough to where he could lock down ones.
Yeah.
And that was years.
He did his job.
He's locked down AJ Green for years.
Oh yeah.
For years.
Oh yeah, you gotta always remember that he was good. He's always good against Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, you go.
Didn't he come from Cincinnati?
Yeah, he was drafted
to play in Cincinnati.
06. Yeah, 06.
I'm sure that
from 06 until we got him in 2011. Yep.
I'm sure that motivates him a good bit when he has to go back there and play him.
And Cincinnati still has the same coach.
Yep.
That I can't even.
That is he should have been gone.
I want to throw in an honorable mention.
All right.
I want to throw in an honorable mention. I probably want to do two, and we could probably just do real quick on that. But I'll say Dante Robinson.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Ooh, that is a good one.
Pay me, Rick.
Yeah.
Pay me, Rick.
Best for keeping it 100.
How
y'all feel about Dante Robinson?
I like it, but I don't know.
Dante was a beast.
I don't know if
I mean, I like him. I don't know if I'd put him in Ring of Honor though.
Yeah, especially the way he went out. We want to talk about
going
out like that. They may not consider that shit so honorable, but man, that's a good one though.
If we talk about throwback players, what about Dominic Davis?
I was thinking about Dominic Davis.
No, I would say no because he couldn't stay healthy to save his life. Like literally, I think he only had like 1,000 yard season.
Yeah, he did only have 1,000 yard season.
All right. So while we in here, while we talking about something, I want to cover this issue while we have this window of opportunity because I'm gonna make it happen because the people want to know. The people have been asking. The people have been clamoring. They need this information from the round table. And shout out to Darren for just joining us.
Charles Bach says he was a hit stick video through his career. Bro. Oh my god!
and the question is, man, what the people want to know, man. Like I said, there've been some moves. There's been some things I know people have asked about Peters. They've asked about Lamar Miller because there's been some information coming out about him, and we're gonna talk about that. But we got to talk about a move more important than any of those. And we have an expert with us here this evening that can help us discuss this move. And so I'd like to know, Sauce Nation, I'd like to know your thoughts. Roundtable, I'd like to know your thoughts, but especially Darren Davis. What's the move on Martavius, man? He's
Hey, if it's a hey,
he's being available. He's being
hey,
made
Sauce
available.
Nation and everybody, I'm not answering no Martavis Bryant question. So if you ask me, my answer will be I'm here, so I won't be fine.
Oh man, like you can't do that.
Why not? It's
all this time, you have been the biggest proponent of the Martavius Bryant move, and now that it's a possibility, now that it's a chance that it could happen, you don't even want to speak on it. You can't even sprinkle. You can't sprinkle a little bit of sauce on it. You ain't got no flavor for the Martavius Bryant opportunity.
Because I said my spill a while ago. If the move happens, it happens, you know. But if it don't, it don't. You know what I mean? But like I said, you know, I'm here so I won't get fined as far as in regards to that.
Oh man, see, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, he's lame. Darren's lame.
I know y'all was expecting something else, but nah.
There are
Darren wears long sleeve shirts and the short sleeve shirts and the long sleeve shirts.
Look, man, all I'm saying is this.
All right, fuck it. I'll cover it. You know what I'm saying? Talk to me, y'all. What y'all want to know?
So what do we want to know? How you feel, and what would you be willing to give up? That now that the Steelers have said that Martavius Bryant is supposedly on the trading block. If you are Brian Gaines, now it's no longer Brian Gaines, it's Darren Gaines, and you have the decision to make. You have the choice to make, you know, to try to offer something for Martavius. What are you willing to give up, and why for Mr. Martavius Bryant?
Okay, realistically, seeing as how Lamar, well, and I know there's been a little to some Lamar Miller talk and whatnot, but seeing as how the Steelers, seeing as how it's looking like they won't bring Le'Veon Bell back, I would offer up Lamar Miller and say, hey, you know, would you take a late round pick with Miller to get him? You know, but I mean, like I said, it all depends on, you know, how you looking at it, because from a financial standpoint, you get the dead money that you would get, you know, if you was cutting Lamar Miller, you know, you would get that money. And then from Martavis's issue, you know, you're not really paying a lot because he would be on the last year of his rookie contract. You know, so there's, from a financial spot, you know, that it could work, but I mean, like I said, you know, I've been crucified enough to know that, you know, people in Houston, well, I ain't gonna say people in Houston, specific people at the round table, like, hell no.
You know why this has happened to you, Darren? Because you were saying shit like we should offer a 3rd and 4th round pick to get Martavius Bryant. Nobody was ever opposed to the talent that Martavius Bryant has. The only reason why
you could have fooled me
is because
especially you
know that Bill O'Brien won't know how to use him. No, I was never critical of the player of Martavius Bryant. Yeah. When you sit here and you say that we should offer 4th round picks for him when we don't even have this even going, picks are already horrible enough for us this coming season, and the fact that you even thought it was smart enough to do that on a player who couldn't even get it done with a top 5 quarterback was absurd to me. I'm not saying I don't see his talent. I'm not saying he won't be talented, but I'm not sure Bill O'Brien, he fits what Bill O'Brien wants to do, because Bill O'Brien does not know how to use specific types of players. We have too much evidence of it.
That was my question. I was going to ask, what role will he play in his offense?
I mean, I can. Well, like I said, it depends on your opponent first and foremost, because, like I said, from an all-around standpoint, and I hate that, you know, Will Fuller actually kind of got drafted, because when you look at it from player to player, Martavis is really just a taller Will Fuller, except he can catch, you know what I'm saying? And even Will Fuller, you know, worked on that issue in the offseason. So, you know, it's up in the air as far as that goes. But I mean, yeah, that's what you would really be getting, you know. And like I said, I don't, just from a being able to cover him one-on-one standpoint, when he's lined up on the outside, regardless of what side he's on, a safety's don't have to cheat over. You know what I'm saying? So that's 2 players schematically, when you think about it, that's 2 players already
Is it cutting out for y'all too?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yeah.
He sounds. I don't know why it's.
Like-
I don't know
like-
why it's doing that.
Like for me,
Sorry,
he'll be
moved.
talking and it'll cut.
I think it's his connection. I think it's his connection. Everybody else.
Nah,
is
I'm using my phone. I'm driving. Well, we driving right now.
Look, don't be
Oh,
talking
okay.
to driver. Look, we don't
Well,
want to get no accidents on
Can I say something about like,
Yeah.
people wanting to trade Lamar Miller? Can I say something about that real quick?
Yes, please do, because that's going to be a
All
topic
right.
we need to
Please.
address. So please do. Yes, sir.
I know everybody's talking about trading Lamar Miller because they really like Deontay Foreman. I like Foreman too, but trading Lamar Miller isn't smart. At
Yeah.
least not right now, because Foreman, he just had that Achilles injury last year. We don't know how that's going to pan out. We don't know. I'm hoping he can come back and still be progressing like he was doing, but we don't know which way he's going to go with that. So let's
And
say,
I'm looking, and I'm on, and I'm not to cut you off, Duskout, but I'm on Battle Red blog right now, and I'm looking at the potential cuts for the Houston Texans, and if we cut Lamar Miller, we only gonna save $750,000 against the cap. So cutting him does what?
it doesn't
To
do
people in the chat who talking about releasing him and not trading him.
And then people don't seem to understand that Lamar Miller hasn't had an offensive line since he's gotten here. Like he hasn't. And I mean, I get he's not like Arian Foster where he can make something out of nothing, but he is still a great back to have because he can run it, he can catch it, he's great in pass blocking. Like he can literally do anything you ask.
I disagree.
You disagree with that?
Yeah, I disagree that he's a great back to have because, like, my opinion, I've been on this since the summer. That I think he's just a complimentary back. I don't see him being a starting back. I've never seen it, like, since day one. Like, I've never seen him being a starting back. And while we constantly give him carry after carry after carry, like, I understand the whole offensive line issue, but if you look at it, Deontay Foreman ran behind the same offensive line. Deontay Foreman just looked better when he got the opportunity. He just looked better than Lamar Miller.
If you keep Miller, OB will not performing in what it's like when OB kept running blue when ground was better. At the end of the day, that's a Bill O'Brien problem. Why Lamar Miller and any other player that he has at the running back position is not panning out. We don't have the right zone. We're not running the zone scheme, which I said over and over again, which he fits. He fits inside, outside zone. We don't run any sweep plays. We don't run any tosses. We don't even run any halfback flips. We don't run any misdirection. We don't run no strong stretch. We haven't run any of these type of plays since Arian Foster was in the mix.
True.
Because we don't have a player of this mix and he doesn't have the ball carrier vision, because that's what he truly lacks is ball carrier vision. And because he doesn't have as much ball carrier vision as he should to be in this system, he will never be as successful as we would like him to be. But the most egregious thing of having Lamar Miller on this team is the fact that he's not catching 50 to 60 balls during the season. The fact that when the running plays are breaking down and you don't get him the ball on screens, you're not finding some way to flex him out and get him in on drag routes. When the last time you seen us run an angle route? I mean, like, when's the last time you've seen these? It's been a while since you've seen these type of routes from running backs in this scheme. So Bill O'Brien is the problem.
Well, I mean,
Bill O'Brien is the problem to all of this.
But I see what you're talking about. If you keep Miller, OB won't put Foreman in. But if I wasn't mistaken, towards the end, it might have been the game. Is it me? Is it me back on? Or is it Darren cutting hair again?
Oh no.
But like I say, towards right before, I don't know if it was the game that he got hurt, or the game before that. Foreman was starting. Foreman started a couple of games. I'm not mistaken. Towards the right before he got hurt. He
started the Arizona game, the game he got hurt.
So I don't think it's just that. I think, Bill O'Brien, he had that whole, rookies ain't ready mentality. And I think part of that is what affected him with Deshaun.
He needs to get rid of that.
What affected him with Foreman and some of these younger guys that we had with, like Zach and some of those guys. But that's more, Vrabel's business to make sure those dudes were ready. But I think he started coming to his senses later on and realizing that, hey, we actually got some real live rookies who can do some things. You have to respect their talents, not, your old set of beliefs, feeling that rookies ain't ready to play in this league. If these motherfuckers can contribute, you put their motherfucking asses in. And like y'all said, he was doing, he seemed to perform much better than Miller did when put in the same situations. Maybe he has, the better body type. He has the whole skill set, the athleticism, the speed.
But I mean, Lamar Miller is not a scheme fit for us. Yeah. Bill O'Brien runs this team with that power. I'm going to run it down your throat, right up the middle, try and stop me. That's not Lamar Miller's game. Lamar Miller is more of a I'm going to beat you to the edge kind of back.
Yes. So he's more of a change of pace back. And at the end of the day, we have Jay Price on this team who could help him out, but we don't even use him in strong I formations. So what point is him being and taking up roster spots and have us having 4 or 5 running backs when you don't even know how to use any of the talent that you have in your backfield? It makes no sense.
Like I do like Lamar Miller. I think with a better offensive line and in a scheme that actually utilizes his talents, he would look like he did in Miami, really good.
But see, also in Miami, he split carries. That's the thing with me. I just think that he gets too many carries for he doesn't belong in the system that he's getting 20 to 25 carries. He belongs in the 10 to 15 range.
Well,
getting like you said, getting the ball on the outside. He needs to get the ball more in space than behind the line of scrimmage and going power forward. Well, I mean, that's really the issue with Lamar Miller. It's not so much that it's that he doesn't hit the hole when inserted to me. When he runs, it's like he waits a little bit instead of just trying to hit the hole. That's one of my issues with him. But he doesn't belong. He's not the type of back that you're supposed to be getting 20 to 25 carries. He's not a every down back. He's just not. He's not that guy. And in Miami, he split time in Miami. That's the reason why he was able to get on the outside. He came in second, third downs. He wasn't on the field all the time. It seems like since we gave him that contract, we're trying to prove a point. And I think that's really the main issue. That's the issue I have with this team altogether.
Well, I mean, we got to remember this Lamar Miller signing was kind of a desperation signing because we had Alfred Blue and Chris Polk running the ball for us the year before we picked up Lamar Miller. So I think it's they're trying to prove that their signing wasn't just a waste. And I think that it is that O'Brien trying to prove his point. I can make it work,
That's the thing. I have an issue with this team altogether. Like that's the reason why they keep trotting Kevin Johnson out there to prove we gave up AJ. We let AJ walk because we got Kevin Johnson. So we got to prove that Kevin Johnson should be on the field. Same thing with Sulafilo, because we drafted Sulafilo instead of drafting Derek Carr. We got to prove that he's able to play. So we got to keep putting him out there, even though time and time again these guys are getting beat and getting embarrassed on the field. But yet we got to prove something. It's going to work eventually. I'm glad they seen the light with number 17, because if you look by the judging, that they would just kept 17 out there. We pay him all this money. We got to prove that he's worth it. That's my main issue with this team.
You are so right when you say that, Spitz. Spitz, that was by far probably one of the best breakdowns in terms of who Bill O'Brien is as a person. At the end of the day, he's gonna ride till the wheels fall off, and he's not gonna put the better players on the field. And he's done that time and time again. Like we seen Decoud out here pressing dudes, making plays and coverage. We seen him doing things, but was he getting more playing time? No. You know why? Because he's a rookie. And at the end of the day, playmakers will always supersede upside. So at the end of the day, let the playmakers play and let the dudes who need to do whatever else it is they need to do learn their positions and stop throwing the whole damn everything. You want these dudes to be this, you want them to be that, but at the end of the day, they can't even develop what you drafted them for. It makes no sense.
Yeah. Exactly.
So we all, like I say, in the general consensus that if not, some of us not just, necessarily fans of Miller, but then the rest of us agree that, he's not being utilized properly. So basically, the production and everything that was expected of him, Miller has definitely fallen short of what people expect. Really a lot of people remember him from putting up 200 some change on us against Miami the year before. So, and then,
and that's what Houston was.
And people were expecting that he was going to come and do that for us, but shit, he failed to have a 100-yard game this year, if I'm not mistaken. The only one who did, Blue had one. He turned one out. But like I say, so it's kind of interesting. You kind of got to think about that. A lot of that can be placed on Bill O'Brien. A lot of that can be placed on that offensive line, but then you do have to place some of it on the running back himself, because even as we mentioned earlier, even Foster, when he was in situations where he didn't have the best of blocking going on, he still made things happen. But I saw a lot of people mentioning it earlier. Excuse me, between Foster and Ben Tate. Man, I liked Ben Tate a lot too, but somehow I don't know how
I did too.
Fuck off. I don't know what happened with him, but it's like he fell completely the fuck off, because at one point, even when he had about half the fucking carries of Foster, he was putting up statistically the same yards per carry. I wouldn't say he had the same yards, but as far as yards per carry, I think he was averaging a little bit better than Foster at one point in time.
That 2013 season, he was averaging almost 6. He was almost averaging 6 yards a carry. That's
well, you also got to look at it like this: yards per carry isn't the greatest stat to kind of represent how they ran, but just because it can be easily skewed one way. Like, you break off a couple big runs along with like some 4-yard runs, and you could get to that 6-7 average, but it's not like you're averaging that per play. Like, there's no way you could get 7 yards a play every time.
Yeah.
I think it was 2011. Both Foster had over 1,100 yards. Or I think he had 13.
12.
And I think Ben Tate had I think he was like 50 yards away from 1,000, something like that. So we had over 2,000 yards between the two of them at one point in time.
Yeah, they were the best. That we had the best. I think they were like combined. They were like second or first in the league in terms of combined yards or something like that. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
So now we'll talk about a couple of things that have happened around the league. Some news, some guys that we've mentioned that we've had some interest in, some that we'll no longer have access to. I want to talk about Marcus Peters real quick, but then I want to talk about some recent news from Kenny Vaccaro, looking like he may not be back with the Saints. I know a lot of us speculated that he'd probably end up returning back. From what I've seen is that they're saying that it's not looking likely that he's going to be back with the Saints. So if y'all want to speak on these two guys, because I know this is a position of need for the Texans that we know a lot of people ask about. Like I say, Peters is basically out of the question. He was traded. And I don't think, what did they give up for him, as a matter of fact? I'm not sure.
I don't think it's been announced yet, has it?
Okay, I don't know. I'm not sure. What they traded Peters for to the Rams.
Well, you want to know what the Marcus Peters trade kind of told me? It kind of told me a lot about Tremaine Johnson and what the Rams thought of him. Yeah. Because they just went and traded stuff to go get a corner when he was already, like, they could have kept him. They could have paid him. But instead they brought in another guy to be that same kind of player for them. So that kind of says something to me,
That's something I thought about also when I first saw it, because I mean that looks like when I saw it, I was like, the first thing I thought was, okay, well, they're not going to pursue Tremaine Johnson. I figured it would probably be the finance, because they put the tag on him 3 or 4 years, 2 or 3 years, something like that in a row.
They put him on twice.
Okay.
Yeah, they put him on him. They put it on him twice. The only argument you could really have had in favor, of saying, okay, Tremaine Johnson, they just didn't want to pay him. No, that's the only thing, because Marcus Peters still has that 1 year left. That's really the only thing.
He's still under his rookie deal.
Yeah.
The fact that man in 3 seasons has 21 interceptions with 5 forced fumbles, and that shit is absolutely ridiculous. Could you imagine if the Texans had a player who could produce in that way as a playmaker? And you know what? Bill O'Brien would shit the bed, because he wouldn't know how to utilize a player like that. It's just crazy.
You see,
that one on Bill, man. That's gonna be on rack this time. If that case come down to it. We talking defensive, I can't put the blame on Bill for that one, man.
Well, I mean,
no, you know why? No, you can say that. You can say that because at the end of the day, he's the one making the cuts. Is he right? Is he not?
He is. I mean, the Marcus Peters situation kind of gets me upset just because we chose Kevin Johnson, who was not touted as the best corner in that class. Everybody knew Marcus Peters was the best corner in that class. And we took Kevin Johnson over him just for that one incident Marcus Peters had. Let's not pretend it was something else. It was that one incident. And Marcus,
you know what I want? When you finish making your point, Doug Scout, I'm gonna make the next point.
Could you imagine if we had 21 interceptions, or what was it, 2021 for Marcus Peters?
21.
Yeah, 21 interceptions from Marcus Peters. Could you imagine what that could have done for our team? Like, Kevin Johnson has one career interception. One.
Especially with the team we talking about last year. And the fact that he's been healthy, too, matters.
Yeah, I mean...
Best ability is availability.
Yeah.
And, I mean, I want you to think about this, too. The year A.J. Boye broke out and became the number one corner on the number one defense, we could have had Marcus Peters on the opposite side of him. And imagine that Patriots game where Kareem Jackson is getting dusted on the field deep. You have A.J. Boye and Marcus Peters back there.
And J. Joe.
Oh, yeah. Like getting Kevin Johnson instead of Marcus Peters, it set us back in the cornerback department, in my opinion.
Then I
want to make...
only issue this offseason, if that was the case, this coming up offseason, we just have to worry about getting the offensive line. We wouldn't have to worry about putting money in the secondary.
Oh, yeah, because we'd still have that number one corner. We wouldn't be looking for one.
Yeah.
I really want this.
And he wouldn't have top corner money because he would still be on a rookie contract.
Exactly. Yeah.
This is what needs to happen for Bob McNair right now. He needs to go through each draft and every player that they said that had these so-called concerns and look at the totality of their career and look at the plays and the playmakers and things that they say and say, am I wrong for not getting the best players on this team? Or should, he really needs to ask himself, does that really matter or does winning matter? And at the end of the day, if making money in the bottom line is more important than winning with this franchise, then what good do you mean to the city of Houston as being an owner of a football franchise?
Oh man, that's exactly what I feel like he feels. He's like, shit, this is just another little something in my toy box to play with, because if it was really about that wouldn't even be a premise. The issue with character issues or whatever, what I'm saying, that wouldn't be a thing, because what you would do is you would take the time, like you said, to evaluate each and every one of these dudes and see how bad do they have a history of shit. One motherfucking incident, shit, motherfuckers snap all the time, man. You know what I'm saying? Shit, we all had situations where we just kind of, that's a little bit out of my character, but shit, it had to be done or whatever it may have been. And when you athlete, these kind of things get documented, and especially in the day and age we live in, it gets overblown. And we all know motherfuckers who probably do some of the same half-ass shit that they do, but nobody makes a big deal about it because they're not celebrities. I think that McNair cares more about, like I say, the profit and how it looks as a business as opposed to the actual wins and losses.
I think he's already showed you that. I mean, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but let's be real. The day that Deshaun went down, they should have been having Kaepernick on the phone that same day. But he showed you.
He should have been here before that.
Yeah, exactly. But he definitely should have been before that. But there was no excuse. There was no excuse after that. That right there showed me that you don't care about winning. I mean, not to mention what you've done years before with all the mediocrity stuff you've done. He's a mediocre owner. It's just point blank. He doesn't care about winning.
I mean, if you want to talk about making money and all that, you get money from winning. Everybody knows that you get a bonus to the Super Bowl. If not only he just doesn't care. That's pretty much what it is. But then, when you look at all these off-field issues, especially when you're looking at rookies, man, the thing is that they're young. I mean, who wasn't stupid when they were young?
Exactly.
And I mean, if he wants to go with the whole high moral character BS that he wants to do, you can get so much better PR being that guy that wants to give a person a second chance.
I'm sorry, everybody. I love redemption stories, and I'm sorry, everybody isn't a model citizen like Andre Johnson, J.J. Watt, and all of these guys. That well, everybody's not J.J. Watt because they love to promote him as he's the greatest Texan ever. You know what I'm saying? And we all know that that's not true. And it's not that we don't have great respect for J.J. Watt, but at the end of the day, he isn't the focal point. He isn't the standard that you should set in terms of who you have to be as a person. He's his own man. He comes from a different set of circumstances that most people in the NFL have to endure before they even make it to the NFL. So at the end of the day, it's not about outside. You know, it's not about what goes on the outside. It's about what goes on the inside of the organization. Can you play? Can you mesh? Can you listen? Can you learn? And can you produce on the football field? Because if you don't do any of these things, then your ass will be cut at the first bait. And we done already seen Bill O'Brien be quick to cut players that have been cut over the last few years, like Lewis Nix. And I mean, I honestly think, bro, Braxton Miller's probably, unless he skyrockets his play, he'll be out of here within the next season. He'll probably be cutting game after the second game this year too. Who knows? It's been done before. Why can't it be done again?
If Braxton doesn't step up in the offseason, I don't think he makes it to game one. Because I think the Texans will bring back Bruce Ellington. And if Braxton Miller is still looking like, okay, he's at best, then they probably let him go and try to bring somebody else in who can be better than him.
Honestly, I don't think your aim should just be what Bruce Ellington did, because if we really want to sit back and we want to talk about it, I mean, Bruce Ellington, honestly, outside of a few games, yeah, true enough. I mean, he wasn't really getting the ball like that, but we could do. I like Bruce Ellington, and I want us to bring him back. But honestly, we could do way better than Bruce Ellington. I mean,
and that's all I've been trying to say.
We could do
that's
better.
All I've been trying to say.
Hey, Darren, welcome back, man. I wanted to ask you something before your phone cut off earlier, Jack. I wanted to make sure I touched on something before we forget everything in the stream, man. So basically, you were basically explaining how you felt or what position that MB would take. I want to get back to this, and I don't want to touch on Kenny Vaccaro too. So basically, are you saying that you would bring MB in as a number 2? Long story short.
I mean, he can his overall body and build, he could play that role, but I mean, let's call it for what it is. You know, he ain't here. The Texans, they drafted Will Fuller with the first pick. You know what I'm saying, a few years ago. So as sad as it makes me to say this, you know, just knowing the Texans and how they get down and how they do things, you know, as much as I would like to see it happen, I just know that they, you know, that's just some wishful thinking, you know. And as far as, but the role that he would play, you know, he could definitely give you that big play receiver type of role. You know what I'm saying? Where if he beats his man, if they trying to press him at the line of scrimmage and he beats his man, odds are that defenders that corner is going to have to hold him, which is a 5-yard penalty and a first down. If the ball is already in the air, it's going to be a 15-yard penalty, you know what I'm saying, or a spot foul, which I don't think so. No,
I'm gonna go ahead and say
it will be a spot foul, you know what I'm saying, and which is what the Patriots have basically lived on, for over a decade, you know what I'm saying. And like I said, I just don't see nothing wrong with that. If the Patriots are able to do it year in and year out, then why shouldn't we go after a player to where we know schematically, we know what we can do when everybody's healthy. We know that. But like I said, you're going to have those games where the refs are fucking over you. You know what I'm saying? You have those gritty games where you might need a penalty just to get in field goal range to win.
Well, we're going to rely on DeAndre Hopkins for that. Yeah, we don't have to rely on Martavius Bryant for that. DeAndre Hopkins is the best in the league at doing what you're talking about. Exactly. And at the end of the day, that's what you're going to. But I honestly see a situation where you can interchange it, and Bill O'Brien could do so much if he had a player like Martavius Bryant. Because putting Martavius Bryant in the slot is abusive. Like, that's abusive. because a corner can't. A corner is gonna be too small for him. A safety, forget about it. A linebacker, he's getting dusted as soon as he breaks out, and he's too big. He has the length, and then we're not even talking about what the tight end is going to be able to do and what that does for your running back if they have to get out of the backfield and make a play, and what it does for DeAndre Hopkins. So schematically, I know how beautiful it could look, but at the end of the day, do we really trust Bill O'Brien to do it?
And I'm still waiting.
I mean, I don't, and I wish, like I said, I wish we would bring in a offensive coordinator, that could take that pressure off of Bill O'Brien to where he could focus on clock management and the shit that really matters, you know what I'm saying, that won't fuck us at the end of the game,
But my thing is, okay, so, but I just want to make sure I get it right, because I want to know, Darren has been the biggest proponent of Martavis, and I'm going to keep an eye on what happens with Martavis, so, because Darren he will definitely let us know if he was right and we were wrong.
I said it on the last stream, and I'm saying it on this one. I give Sauce Nation and the Round Table a promise. If the move happens, you won't hear jack shit from me. I've said it before, and now I'm going on record, and I'm saying it again.
Man,
so now it won't be no confusion, no other.
And Martavis ends up on the Texans. You don't talk about it. You have ruined your entire Texans talk, because the thing that you've talked about that people are most familiar with, that you've talked about, if it happened and you did talk about it,
at least recently.
I'm a very modest person, you know what I'm saying, and just me being modest would piss a lot of people off, you know what I'm saying. So that's
I look at it like, Darren, by virtue, bro, because you brought this to the forefront. No, you have to talk about it. It's your God-given. It's your right. It's your right to talk about it. And but the only thing I can say anybody ever truly disagreed with you on, it wasn't even the fact of bringing Martavis Bryant here along with his talent. It's always been what you were willing to give up to get him, to bring him here, to put him on this football team. That was just egregious of you.
Wink, that's bullshit. You know it, because I even went as far as to lower the shit. And you of all people, Wink, I see everybody else. I can kind of give them a pass because they didn't come at me. Wink, you motherfucker, you did it purposely. You did it purposely. You made it your absolute business. You stopped tending to the needs of your kids to come and type that shit.
I would never do that. I would never go there.
No. I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you on that one. But you get what I'm saying, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, even when I lowered,
everybody was trying to understand your logic in terms of, I could understand you in some points. I could get you, and we just talked offline, and we just pretty much agreed and talked about some stuff schematically. So I already know what your mind brings up and how you think. So that's not really the issue. The issue where you kind of did get a lot of where you kind of threw people off was just throwing out that 4th round pick. I could say that was probably the biggest thing you said that I just was like, you can't justify throwing away a 4th round pick on a player on a team who has a top 5 quarterback and isn't producing and has 1,900 yards over his whole career. That just doesn't even make sense. That didn't make sense. I
would agree with you, Wing, but you also got to take into consideration this was way back early in the season. Remember who the GM was? Rick Smith was still the GM. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's not make it seem
like he was responsible for bringing DeAndre Hopkins here too. I mean, so what do we really say?
He was also responsible for bringing Brock in.
No, Brian Game was responsible for that.
I mean, but he still signed up on the shit.
For cutting a check, and Bob McNair was responsible for cutting a check, right or wrong, because he was comfortable paying Brock Osweiler that amount of money while he was in Houston. So at the end of the day, does Rick Smith cut checks? And at the end of the day, was he in charge of free agency? No. We already covered that a couple of months ago. So why are we still talking about it? We already aired that out. Why are we acting brand new now? Because we in a new month on the round table.
My only thing with Martavis Bryant was the trading for him part. Like,
I mean, Doug, what do you like? I understand you can't always try to go after people in free agency, because guess what? If you're trying to go after them in free agency, that means whatever rookie contract they was on, either that team has decided to terminate it, or guess what? It's up. So guess what? Now you have to pay them what their market value is. My theory was if you go ahead and you jump on the deal early, you would have had a year that you would have had this whole year and next year on a rookie contract. Mind you, a rookie contract. You're not Martavis wasn't gonna be making 4, 5, 6 mil per year in the next 2 years. He was gonna be making like 45, like what, a few $100K.
And not only that, when somebody phrases you bidding on them, it's a bidding war. I got this money, then this team coming with this offer, this team coming with this offer, so it just keeps going up. That's the reason why the Osweiler money was so big, because it was going back and forth between us and Denver. So
true.
All right. I mean, during the season, odds are Martavis Bryant wasn't even available to be traded for. They probably were trying to let him play out the year just so they didn't throw stuff off with their wide receiver core. And let me put it like this.
I feel you. Come down to it, bro. Every player is tradable. Teams gonna come out. That's a PR stunt. They do that. They have to do that. You know what I'm saying? If we are, well, I ain't gonna say we are, because a lot of people probably don't know who Martavis Bryant is or what kind of talent he possesses. You know, but if a team realize what kind of player they have and they realize that he could be more effective somewhere else, much like how Dallas was doing with, well, I ain't gonna say Dallas, much like how Jerry Jones was doing with Tony Romo when he was about to be a free agent, he realized that he was gonna come to Houston and ball out. So he said, no, I can't have that. So, you know, I'm gonna need you to retire on some shit. Then it's not that big of a difference with Martavis Bryant. They said they weren't willing to trade him, but look what we at now. Yes, I understand the season is over with, but you was just saying that they didn't want to trade him, you know what I'm saying? But now they are.
That was clear, because if they could have cut him by week 3 or week 4, especially with the emergence of Juju and other things that they had going on in the team. And considering the fact that he had problems and they felt personal problems of his were hindering the football team, they had every reason to cut him. But at the end of the day, they saw something in him and they knew they could utilize him in a different way. So that's why he wasn't cut.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And that's my thing. That's my whole theory as far as why he didn't get traded and why he hasn't been cut yet. Because I don't care. Well, I ain't gonna say I don't care. You can't name a receiver that's gonna get into it with or has problems with their starting quarterback and something's not done about it.
Everybody, Demaryius Thomas, Emmanuel Sanders, they all had a quarter. They got problems with every single quarterback on their roster. What are you talking about? Dez Bryant has a problem with Dak Prescott.
That's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, as far as what Martavis' issue with Big Ben was, he was upset at the fact that Big Ben basically, you know, went out and publicly and called him out, you know, and you human, you know what I'm saying? That kind of thing would bug. Go ahead and knock on the door. That thing would bother anybody, you know what I'm saying? That would. Now, as far as like with all the other receivers that you named about, like, I don't know what issue they had with their quarterback, but like I said, what happened with Martavis and Big Ben, Martavis was really like, yo, I'm not here to cause no problems. I just want to talk to you personally. I just want to talk to you, Big Ben, personally about the issues and comments that you made about me. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, as far as that whole trade scenario goes, if you're looking at it from a GM's perspective, that's the golden opportunity. A receiver's having problems with a team that he's already on. He's already had he had a year suspension. You know, just things are compiling up. You know what I'm saying? So eventually, where we're at now, the Steelers was gonna get to that point eventually. You know what I'm saying? So why not go ahead and jump on the deal early, offer them a fifth or something, offer them something, shit, and be like, hey, let's see if we can make this happen.
All right, but with him having problems at one location, that he won't bring those problems to the next location. I mean, in a situation that would basically be almost similar, if not the same.
No,
we weren't
not
necessarily winning.
No.
What would be the difference? I mean, as far as he's getting upset about not getting the number of looks that he would like.
We talked about this, and we're just like Wink said, we talked about this already, and now we're playing it back like as if we didn't talk about this.
But what I'm saying is there's a lot of folks who may not have been privy to the conversation, but I don't feel like Martavius.
You got something going on with your mic too, Darren. You might need to mute it just for a second because you got this scratchy sound coming out through the chat. And
all right, hold on.
Yeah, it sounds crazy.
Right. Well, let's say we do go ahead and trade for Martavis Bryant. Like tomorrow morning, we wake up and Martavis Bryant is a Houston Texan. Goes out schematically, is perfect, exactly how we picture it, and he looks like 10 times as good as Will Fuller did last year. We're gonna have to pay to keep him. Like
mute that mic, please.
Like, let's say he just absolutely goes off, like top wide receiver kind of stats. Let's say he does that. Are we willing to pay him top dollar?
I'm not.
Like I know because even if he dominated, DeAndre Hopkins would still be our one. I'm not going to pay like 12, 13 million to my number 2 receiver.
It was absolutely ridiculous, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I understand the sentiment. I know where it's going. I know Clemson connection and all that could pretty much serve because the Clemson connection has been, benefiting the Texans for quite some time now on offense and defense. So I'm not saying he doesn't add any value to the football team, which I pretty sure, but we don't have the competence. We don't have a competent coach in place to even make this a possibility. At the end of the day, I don't like the way he uses players and he overlooks talent on a consistent basis. So when you have this and you have this in your coach and he's consistent with who he is on a yearly basis, why should we believe that this man is going to be best served in the Houston Texans uniform? I just don't agree. I don't.
I mean, D4 Watson is the reason. Shit. Everybody in Houston damn near wanted to crucify Will Fuller for him in that drop in the end zone against the New England, and rightfully so. But
I didn't. I mean, I knew he was a rookie. I mean, I didn't. I mean, people jumped the gun on Will Fuller way too soon. He was like 26th in drops. I already looked it up. He only had 5 drops on his rookie season, and people acted like he dropped like 14 fucking passes or something like that. CJ Fedor had way more drops than he did. Go look that up. CJ Fedor was top 10 in drops.
Yeah,
that drop against the Patriots is unexcusable. I'm sorry, it's unexcusable because the magnitude of the game is unexcusable.
It was, but what was that play really going to change? We were still down. We were still going to be down with 13. What?
No. If
that touchdown is 23-20. Yeah, we would have been leading.
No. I mean, we scored a touchdown. It's 23-20, and then the next play, Tom Brady throws a pick.
True.
I don't know, man. Brock Osweiler was still the quarterback, so
I understand that, but that changed the complexion of the game.
You ain't shit, man. You ain't
Brock,
shit, man.
Brock actually played a decent game that game. It was a couple of. It was better than. And let me make sure. It was better than the average 17 that we were expecting. He played better than what we were used to seeing. I'm not gonna say he had
his playoffs were much better than his regular season. I will concede and I will agree with you on Honcho on that one. He did play way better in the playoffs than he ever played during the regular season.
But yeah, but I just recently watched the game like 2 weeks ago, and I'm telling you, like you score if Will Fuller catches that ball, it's 23-20 Patriots, and then 2 plays later, like Tom Brady throws that pick to I think it was Howell. I think Howell got that pick, and it wasn't Howell.
I want to say it was. I know. Boye had got that pick. Which pick are you talking about?
The second pick. Boye got the first pick of the game. The second pick, I think it was Howell because it went through McKinney's hands. I'm thinking McKinney should have called it, but it went through McKinney's hands. I think Andre Howell got that second one.
No, I think it was Quentin Demps, wasn't it?
It might have been Quentin Demps.
Demps didn't play that game. Quentin Demps didn't play that game.
He didn't?
No, he was out with an injury. He had like a hamstring or something like that right there. Because you can go back and go look at the footage. You'll see him on the sideline clearly.
Okay. Well, we got a couple of texts that came in on the Sauceline. I want to touch on these real quick. One of them says,
and Darren and Ray is in the chat too.
We were talking about that earlier about the RB situation. Who would be a good replacement at RB, and would you go for Kenny at safety?
Yeah, it's an upgrade over what we have so far. Why not?
And which safety spot are we talking about? Are we talking free? We need to be specific. Are we talking? Do we want to upgrade free safety or strong safety?
Strong safety.
Yeah, I'm thinking Kenny is strong, but like I said, I don't. Ain't nobody put a specific on it. But I like Vaccaro because he's versatile. He can give you a little bit of safety. He can play up a little bit. He can play you a little bit of corner too. But with the injuries he's had, and like I say, he just had two. Like I think he had a wrist surgery and a groin surgery at the end of the season. So that makes me wonder if the Saints may know something we don't know, if there's something, a little deeper than that. Because I always felt like he was a solid guy. You would think it was a guy they'd be trying to keep on the squad. But if they're going to let him entertain free agency and things like that, that makes me wonder what's really good.
I feel like this, Honcho. I feel a player like Kenny Vaccaro, we're going to be outbid by the Colts. I just feel like a player like this, because they're going to need somebody to go. They're going to need somebody to go along with Malik Hooker.
Yeah,
you're going to need that. Yeah. And since they have the build from the front to the back, and if they go ahead and they shore up their back end and they get a player like Kenny Vaccaro, then their safeties are set. All they'd have to worry about is their front seven and their corners.
And somebody got a question. There's two questions. One of them is for Ray. Ray in the chat though, but he can still answer it.
He's in the round table right now on the thing.
Huh? Oh, he in the mix now? Okay, there you go. What's up, Ray? What's the motherfucking? I ain't see the little thing down there. Shout out to Ray.
Sorry, I'm late, man. Sorry, I'm late.
It's all good. You've been hanging around too many black people. You starting to run on colored people time, man. You gotta.
Oh wow.
Nah, but like I say, one of them says, this one's for everybody. What do you think of the Anthony Weaver extension? A question for the round table. And then the question for Ray is, what are your thoughts on the Martavius Bryant pipe dream?
Next to Bill Kolar, Anthony Weaver is hands down the best defensive lineman assistant we've ever had. Like what he does with Clowney, what he does with DJ Reader and other guys that we have on this young defense.
Guys like that.
Covington has gotten better every single year, and we don't talk about him enough. Like
he's taken some late round picks and turned them into really good players. Like really good.
And we're not even going to talk about in terms of what he's done for J.J. Watt's career.
Mm-hmm.
I
mean, just look at what they did last year. I mean, in the midst of all these injuries, I mean, Weaver was a big part of that, man. I mean, there's a reason why Greg was trying to poach his ass away. I mean, you got to think of it like that. So that's just me. But to answer that other question, as far as that MB question, I ain't got no fucking comment. I already said all I need to say. Look, man. Look. I'm not saying it couldn't be possible, but realistically, where would we use them? It's that simple. Schematically, with what we run, with the head coach that we got, where would we use them? That's all.
Pretty much all of us has made that point, Ray. Pretty much everybody tonight round table pretty much made that.
That's my curiosity. I mean, I'm always about value. What are you really willing to give up, and how much improvement overall?
You don't think that Bill could figure it out?
No, I do.
No,
I do, but I mean, essentially, all right, man. What are we talking about here? We're gonna have two Will Fuller types. I'm not saying they're the exact same player, but type of player. Speedy guy can go up and get it, can run streaks. You know what I'm saying? Like we'd have two of the same player. Now, in a normal situation, you would think, okay, if we ran a lot of 4 wide, 5 wide sets and not 2 tight ends split out, yeah, you know what? I would probably agree with that. But OB is like the New England. He has to have a tight end split out, or on the line, or in the backfield chipping, or leaking out, or a check down. He doesn't go very many 4 or 5 wide sets. You guys all know that. So I mean, it's kind of a moot point.
Somebody asked, why does Darren love MB so much?
Because he got drafted.
I can tell you why. He loves him because of what his physical attributes, the fact that he is 6'4".
First off, I don't love another man. Let's get that out the way first and foremost.
You love the prospect of what Martavius Bryant could be in the right system.
Yeah, and what he brings. Yeah, you're absolutely right, Wink. You're absolutely right.
It's understandable. I understand every single point why you like him. I understand every single thing, but at the end of the day, I know Bill O'Brien all too well, and these are not his type of players of what you're talking about. We can sit here and we can say that and look at every single tight end that we've ever had in this system that he's wanted, with the exception of Steven Anderson, and none of them fit the mold in what he really wants. Because he really wants a Travis Kelce type. He really wants a Gronkowski, a Greg Olsen, a Jimmy Graham, but he doesn't possess that in his arsenal.
Exactly.
And he doesn't know how to scout that talent.
And I'm willing to bet that if OB's sitting there and he's talking with Gain, he's like, look, you have the choice between Martavius Bryant or Jimmy Graham or Tyler Eifert or Austin Seferian Jenkins, I guarantee OB says, yeah, go grab me that tight end. I mean, it's that simple. I hate that it is like that, but this is what we got.
Yeah, and that's facts. You're right. That's fact.
Okay. Got a question right here from Roundtable. Says, why do people look for physical attributes over skills in a player?
Because athleticism is key. That's the only reason why you watch the combine. Let's just be real. If you couldn't see a player's athleticism, and if you couldn't see what a player brings in a pro day, why would you watch the combine? Why would you have this grown man in tights, wanting to know how fast he watches, what kind of routes can he run, how crisp can he get in and out of his breaks, what is his vertical, what is this, what is that? It makes all the difference in terms of what you can and how you can scheme your players. It makes a difference.
Like, I get there are some players like Antonio Brown. He ain't the biggest, he ain't the fastest guy in the world, but he's skillful. But there was a quote I heard. I can't remember who said it, but somebody said, you can't teach 6'3", 220. You can't teach that at the wide receiver position. You can't.
No, you can't.
These physical attributes. So like these 6'1" corners, if they look really good, yeah, they're going to be valued pretty high. Just because they're lengthier and they can potentially be better. Like those, physical attributes do not 100% determine success in the league, but they do play a factor. 100% they play a factor.
Yes, they do. I mean, it's pretty much what sports are built on to a fact. If we're talking about basketball and football, athleticism and all of these measurables matter, because if they didn't, then how come for decades they only felt that these specific types of players can mesh at certain positions? Like, for years, people have said to be a successful quarterback, you have to be 6'5" plus, you have to be about 240, 250, and you have to do this and you have to do that. Because at the end of the day, it's a standard that's been set for years and time again, and that's where the most success has been proven. That mold has been changing due to the last, 6-7 years that different quarterbacks have been coming in the league, and they've been making impacts in every single way imaginable, regardless of size, regardless of speed, regardless of anything that you have going on to be successful in football. And it's just what it is. The tide is turning.
Okay. So I got one more thing I want to touch on for sure that we have yet to really speak on. I saw it briefly mentioned in the chat, but it's something that we have to address because it has a huge impact on what the Texans will be able to do this season and what to expect coming up in the future from our opponents. The Jacksonville Jaguars went and did what we as Texans fans all hoped and prayed that they would do. The reason why we were actually excited that they did just well enough towards the end of the season to believe in one Blake Bortles. So they went and extended, if I'm not mistaken, but 3 years, $54 million, something like that. Somewhere in that area.
They did that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's making like $18 million a year.
Yeah. So,
when did this happen?
Huh?
I think was it yesterday or the day before? Was this yesterday or the day?
It happened yesterday.
Yeah.
The report came out yesterday. Yeah.
So I just want to know how do y'all feel about me personally? I feel like it's good news. I think it's great news because, to me, Bortles gonna Bortle. Eventually he's shown to play that he's played a lot better last year than he ever has, of course. But I think when it all comes down to it, Blake Bortles is still Blake Bortles. And
they just got matched up.
All I can say right now, fellas, this is gonna be our favorite song. Da, 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 da. I'm loving it. At the end of the day, that's exactly what it is because he can't get it done.
Being honest, I was hoping they'd do it. I didn't think they'd be stupid enough to do it, though. I really didn't.
Yeah.
I thought they were done with him.
So that means Kirk Cousins, Eli Manning, all of these guys that we thought that they could have got are completely off of the table, and they could potentially lose Allen Robinson to us. I love that.
Oh no, I don't think they can re-sign him at this point. Not with that.
They can't. Not with the cap number. I guarantee you they can't.
Okay,
they have 18 million. They have 18 million, and I've seen the players that they have left to cut. And at the end of the day, they are not going to cut all those guys. The only person that they have on their team that they could cut right now that they shouldn't cut is Aaron Coleman because he was solidified as secondary for years to come.
Right now, their cap total, it's at 179.
That's bad.
That's they're done. They're not getting much else.
No, not for a couple of years.
Yeah, they're all in at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And honestly, it kind of screwed them. Even if they didn't get Bortles and they paid somebody else top dollar, it would have screwed them in the long run. Especially
Kirk would have screwed them even more so.
Oh yeah. But But when you go all in and it doesn't work, it can fuck you over for a long, long time. They've put all their money in saying, hey, Blake Bortles, we have faith he can do just enough to get us that Super Bowl we want.
The smartest thing I can see this team doing is if they package a second or third or they swap picks and they go up to get a guy like Josh Rosen, Lamar Jackson, or they end up getting a guy like Lamar Jackson or somebody like that in the second or third round. That is the only thing they can bank on. And at the end of the day, they don't have anybody behind Blake Bortles anyway. You're not going to resign Chad Henne. So the best thing that they could do in case Blake Bortles doesn't work out, draft the QB that can come in playing spots of Blake Bortles when he's not playing good. You do have a good coach in Doug Marrone. You have a solid defense, and you have a run game with targets on the outside. You have no excuse in anybody that you guys that they were to bring in would be successful. As long as they give them the correct shot, the Jaguars can be a dangerous team to come if they would have listened to guys like me. But I know they're not, and they're going to go in the opposite direction because they're going to feel they have other holes to fill. I'm throwing it out there for them, but they're not going to listen anyway because they believe in Blake Bortles enough because he went to an AFC championship, which is dumbfounding to all of them.
How many of y'all have seen the Tom Coughlin comment on the Bortles re-signing?
What do you say?
No, what do you say?
I'm looking at it right now. This is word for word. Blake's growth and development last season was a key success we had as a team. Blake has proven with his toughness, dependability, that he can be the leader this team needs going forward. Along with his contract come high expectations that he will continue to improve and help our team accomplish its ultimate goal. That's Tom Coughlin.
Tom Coughlin, honestly, Blake Bortles is the type of guy that Tom Coughlin likes because he's not that far off from Eli Manning, if we're being real. Yeah, it's not that far.
Okay, I got a little question here, and I want y'all will know better than this than I will, because like I say, as far as the numbers dealing with franchise tagging and stuff like that, someone has sent a message and said, wouldn't they be able to franchise tag Allen Robinson? Now, I thought that money went against the cap, but somebody else I see is saying that doesn't count against your actual cap space. So I'm not familiar with that. So would somebody like to clarify the details on that if they are able to?
I think that does count against the cap.
Yeah, it does.
Sure. Yeah.
And it makes whoever you put the tag on, it makes them the highest paid person at that position.
I thought it was the like average amongst top guys.
Yeah,
No.
When you the franchise tag, you become the highest paid person at your position.
Oh yeah, they sure are not
regardless.
going to franchise tag Allen Robinson. They can. They have the money
because they'll have to pay him $14 million this season if they do.
Mm-hmm.
Like he'd have to be paid more than DeAndre Hopkins, and they don't have that cap space. Especially considering they're going to want to re-sign guys like Jalen Ramsey in the future. So that's really not going to happen. Especially like the thing is, Jalen Ramsey and Miles Jack are both going to need deals the same year.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't keep both.
No, not with how much money they have now. They'd have to.
And Telvin Smith. Telvin Smith came out a year before them.
Yeah,
and Telvin Smith. You see, I'm gonna be keeping my eyes on the Jaguars for the next couple of years because they got players I want.
Yeah, they're only gonna have a small window because their money gonna start. You're gonna have to pay them dues.
Oh, and they might actually have to rely on like second-year players in the wide receiver core too. Because I'm looking at the market value for their guys. Allen Robinson, his market value is around $13.6 million.
Damn, that went up. Holy shit, that went up.
Yeah, and then Marquise Lee, 8.8.
Okay. And they got D.D. Westbrook.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's always kind of it should worry teams relying on second-year like skill positions. Like when those guys are your like key guys, it's kind of concerning, at least to me.
I can see that. Somebody says that Telvin Smith signed a 4-year extension last year and that they can go over the cap to franchise tag someone. And then you can they say they'll sign him.
Oh yeah, I do see that now. Telvin Smith did sign a 4-year deal, $45 million.
Okay.
Wow, they got a good deal on that one.
Yeah, he looks great. I'm trying to see who else they got.
Yeah,
they still got Dante Fowler. They still got somebody else on the front. They got Malik Jackson. They signed him to a crazy.
Yannick Ngakoue.
Yeah, Yannick Ngakoue.
Like they got talent. They really do. They have a lot of talent on that defense. And now that they've paid all this money, they're not going to be able to keep these guys.
Next to us, they're the most stacked division. They're the most stacked team. You could honestly say they're a little bit more stacked than we are. If using no bias or nothing, if we talking across the board.
Oh, across the board.
They're a little bit more stacked at this point than we are.
Okay, being honest, I think they're better at every position except quarterback and maybe receiver. You could argue receiver with me. But like they have a better offensive line. Fournette's better than our running backs.
Yep.
DeAndre
and their tight ends not better. Well, Mercedes Lewis was better this year, so I take that back.
But then they also defensive line. They can match us at least. At least that front seven, they can at least match us.
All right, so
I say that's pretty much even. I can pretty much even.
But
all right. So to answer the question, I'm reading on NFL.com. Do all players count against their team's salary cap? The answer is yes. Once the season has started, all players, whether on the 53-man roster, injured reserve, PUP list, practice squad, count against the team's salary, including and not excluded to the franchise tag. So there you go.
So yeah, they can't tag him. So they're losing. Like, one thing people like to point out is, they had a really good season without Allen Robinson. Well, you'd still fucking like to have him on the field.
It would have been way better to have him than not to have him.
Like people act like because they did well without him, they don't need him. When they should at least really, really want him. Oh, did y'all see the little thing NFL.com did with the top 10 QB wide receiver duos?
We were like number 7.
Oh, word.
Yeah, and some of the people they had above, it was horrible. Like Deshaun Watson and DeAndre Hopkins were 7. The people, hold on, I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
I know Antonio Brown and Big Ben were 1. Let's see. Phillip Rivers and Keenan Allen are 2.
That's decent.
Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, Case Keenum, and Adam Thielen.
No.
I guess this was made before the trade, but they had Alex Smith and Tyreek Hill. And then they have Matthew Stafford and Marvin Jones.
I wonder if they got to be throwing some record or something in there. I mean, the things you could count against, is the longevity, how long they did it, maybe some things like that. You could look for some little nuances to try to pick it apart and rank them lower. But Deshaun Watson should be on there twice. He should be on there with Hopkins and with fucking Will Fuller if you want to really play that game the way it sounds to me. Because he was doing it at an unheard of pace as a fucking rookie, especially. There may be 2 or 3 of those I'd agree with. Probably, the Saints and Keenan.
Keenan Allen, because Keenan Allen came back off his injury and was balling. Keenan Allen has always been very good when he was on the field, so that's why I can kind of agree with that one. But them being at number 2, I don't agree with the placement, but they definitely need to be top 5.
They don't have us in the top 10 for pass rush units.
Well, you couldn't say that this year because honestly, our pass rush other than Jadeveon Clowney was non-existent, so I wouldn't have put us there either.
I don't know if they're going off. I don't know what they're going off. Are they going off like
they were going off of actual pressures in games? They were actually going off actual
in games. Yeah, I didn't know if they were going based off personnel or what. I thought they were going off personnel. I was about to say we better be in the top 10.
Yeah, no, they weren't going off of personnel. They were going strictly off of what they were doing in this season.
I could understand it then, just because we didn't really apply that pressure because Mike Vrabel is horrible.
Okay, we got one more question coming in on the Sauceline here, and it says, who would you take right now, Ngakoue or Whitney Merciless?
Merciless. But you can make a strong argument for Ngakoue.
I like Whitney Merciless, but I do really like Yannick Ngakoue. I really do.
I'm gonna say Merciless for the simple fact he has more speed and he has better bend and he finishes plays and he plays better against Tom Brady. So at the end of the day, I'm gonna always take the player who can get to Brady over anybody else. I just am. That's just to the point to where I have to be right now, considering that's the fact who you're gonna have to be to get to the Super Bowl or beat in the Super Bowl.
I would lean more towards Whitney Merciless just because I've kind of seen it more. Mm-hmm. Like, Ngakoue's young. He can still improve, but he could also regress. Merciless, you at least get that veteran presence on the outside.
Yeah. And I think his strength at this juncture in time, and the fact he's more seasoned, that makes all. And he's still young. He's only, he's like 27, but like he's a young 27. Like other than the pec injury, he hasn't really sustained a lot of injuries. You know what I'm saying? He can do a lot of things you need him to do.
And it's not like the running back position where like at 30 they just start regressing a lot. No, it's a lot of these guys can still like isn't Tom Bahali like 34, 35, something like that?
Yeah, he is.
And he's still like productive for Kansas City. So 27 is nowhere near like, oh, he's going to be done soon.
Okay. Speaking of KC, excuse me. Any interest in DJ Derek Johnson?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
To do what?
You wouldn't bring him in on a veteran minimum contract?
Absolutely not.
No, if we wanted, the only thing he'd be here for would be like veteran leadership. And if we were gonna just bring somebody in for veteran leadership, we could have tried to restructure Cushing or something like that.
Honestly, I think Clowney and Bernard McKinney can take that mantle up. I honestly don't believe you have to bring anybody else in for that. You already got those players on this team.
To me, moving Cushing kind of showed what the Texans think of McKinney. They think he can be that same kind of guy Cushing was, if not better. Mm-hmm. Like they wouldn't. Yeah. Like we know how the Texans felt about Cushing. They like Cushing a lot. So for them to say, "Sorry, Cushing, but you got to go," that just speaks volumes about what they think about our current linebackers. And
we're not even going to talk about what Dylan Cole brings to the table.
Oh, no.
Let alone a guy like Zach Cunningham and how he's going to develop in the following season. So we have too many options at the linebacker position that can get it done.
Like that's kind of why I want a 4-3, just so we can have all three of them out there. Because I mean, you put like McKinney. You put him outside to stop the run on one side, Cunningham on the other, and Cole in the middle to cover. That's nice. That's a nice unit right there.
Okay, I see somebody asked about have we discussed the Marcus Peters? Yeah, we talked about Marcus Peters a little bit earlier.
How many of y'all watched that Treston Decoud interview?
Man, I watched it, bro. That Treston Decoud video. I mean, yes, that was a great video, and I was feeling him and what he had to say about Jadeveon Clowney and all of this guy, man.
Yeah, I found that
goes to show you.
I found that really interesting. Him talking about, like, for those of you who haven't seen it, I absolutely recommend you go listen to it and go watch all that. But he was talking about like when he first got there, because he didn't get to go to what was it? OTA. Which one's first? OTA or training camp?
Training camp.
Yeah, he didn't get to go to training camp because he was hurt. So when he got to OTAs, he was talking about how he was like starstruck. And the guy interviewing him was thinking he was starstruck by like J.J. Watt. He's like, no, I was starstruck by Jadeveon Clowney. Well, and I just found that really interesting.
Yeah, I think JD is that dude, man. They're going to continue to be that dude for the foreseeable future. Like, I just, like I say, I hope he can stay healthy. I hope we can see more of those outstanding plays that we have, that we've been spreckled with. But I think that, bring that other talent around. Like I say, when Merciless comes back, when, Watt comes back, when a lot of that depth comes back. Because you got to talk about, man, there was a lot of guys. There was sometimes that we didn't even have enough defensive linemen for guys to rotate in and out. That type of shit wears you down, having fresh bodies on the field. These little things are important. And there was a lot of times that we took shit like that for granted, because guys weren't getting rest. Of course, it's going to eventually wear you down. You're going to start playing poorly. But with that talent around him coming back, I expect Jadeveon Clowney probably to have one of the best seasons. I'm not going to say he's going to have one of those record-setting Watt seasons, but I think he's going to have one of the best seasons that we've seen from a defensive player in a Texans uniform, just because I think he has some things personally that he wants to prove.
Right.
And having some of that pressure taken off his back, where all eyes ain't on him like it was, this year, and he was still finding success. I expect Clowney to have a breakout year. I think something special from Clowney is going to happen next year.
And from that video, I also took from, in terms of what he knew about football, just hearing, what type of coverage, what type of corner he wants to be. He knows his role. He knows he's a better press corner. He knows he uses that. And he said everything I already said about him, that his body, in terms of his frame, he's a reincarnate of Richard Sherman. He said that out himself. He said his favorite player is Patrick Peterson, but in terms of how his play is, it's just like Richard Sherman's.
Like he said, he said he mimicked his game after Sherman too. which was honestly the smartest thing he could have done.
Right.
Because
exactly.
Because like he said himself, he's not a combine guy. Like he's not going to test out like a 4.40 and a huge vertical. He said it. He said, "I'm a football player. I'm not a combine guy. I'm a football player."
Yeah.
And that kind of showed that, you know, he's all in on this.
What I like about that video is how it showed where he came from to where he's at.
Yep.
To me, that was very revealing about how he is. His character as a player has always wanted to get better. I mean, this guy, if you had watched that interview, he started off, JC? He started off JC, then transferred Division II, then transferred Division I. I mean, like, that's not easy.
I may not be the favorite, but I'm gonna make you my favorite. I'm gonna make sure that I made your favorite, or something that he said along those lines.
It was like I was nobody's favorite, but I made them.
Until I made them my favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like that. When he said that, I like that attitude.
He like a caveman, got a billy club, hit the bitch in the back of her head, and drag her by her hair where he wants.
I can't lie. When you first had posted that thing in the chat, I just kind of saw it quickly. I thought it was a motherfucking Waka Flocka interview or some shit. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? I ain't even have time to check it. What Waka
and
for the Stars
Brandon
only?
335. The video was 43 minutes. That's the right video.
Okay.
Yeah, I tried to post a link, but they said it wasn't working for them. So.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that shit out. I'm gonna definitely watch that bitch. Well, man, we didn't went too deep in this motherfucker, and I see we got probably one more hit on the sauce line, and we'll answer this last question. And question for Ray: do the Texans go after the kicker from the Raiders?
Janikowski?
I'm assuming.
Jesus.
What? Oh my. Okay. Let me gather myself here. Okay. Okay. I'm a big fan of Fairbairns. All right, but he did miss a lot of chip shots this year that are very suspect to me. To me, he kind of went Randy Bullock-esque. He went fat kicker toward the end of the year,
right?
And that's disconcerting. There are actually a lot of good kickers coming out in this draft, and do not be shocked, and I'm not joking with this, if Houston spends one of them 6-round compensatory picks on a kicker, like maybe Kaysen from Auburn, or I'm just saying, it's not abnormal that Houston would take a kicker in the draft. They have done it before.
Didn't we draft Bullock?
Yeah, we drafted Bullock from Texas A&M. Yeah.
And we drafted him in the 6th round too. So I mean, again, me personally, I want to shore up my punter first, and then bring in a kicker, whether it be draft or free agency, to at least challenge and have a competition. Because O'Brien, he's all about player competition at their position. That's just how OB is. So. I'm not saying it's not out of the scope of possibility, but Janikowski's going to want money. And I got to be honest with you, I'd rather spend, $5.7 million on like a Justin Pugh versus a Sebastian Janikowski. That's, I don't know, man. My answer is going to be draft or bring in someone off the street for a kicker competition. That's my answer.
Sebastian Janikowski has the leg, but he doesn't have the accuracy. That's one of the biggest knocks. He's not as accurate as people made him out to be.
He's Vanderjack. He's Vanderjack. Yeah. That's exactly what he is. He's got a killer leg. Bullock had a killer leg. Fairbairn has a killer leg. They're just not accurate. Yeah, he does. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know, man.
I will say about Fairbairn that we definitely needed him to do that Nick Novak can never do was fill these kick returns. Like he has so many touchbacks, and we needed that because at the end of the day, if we didn't, especially consider, and that's why the punt unit moved to 26 instead of being 32nd in the league because he had so many fielded kicks that they could not return, and we need that. And honestly, his play didn't dip down until Deshaun Watson was out of the lineup.
Yeah,
exactly.
When Deshaun Watson was in the game, he was playing at his height.
You also have to.
Everybody played better.
These kickers are head cases too. Like to him, he could have been like, "Oh well, fuck, the season's over. We don't got Watson anymore, so why bother?" You know, like that could have been how he was viewing it.
Yeah.
To answer a question in the chat real quick, Justin Pugh plays right guard, not right tackle. He played right tackle this last year and got murdered. But if he plays right guard, he's a Pro Bowler. So, I mean, no, don't put him at tackle.
Wasn't he a long-time center?
No, he was a long-time guard. He was a guard, and then they moved him to right tackle this last year, and he got destroyed by everybody. It was a horrible decision on New York's part.
Well, that's the Giants. They have no fucking clue what they're doing on OL, and that's coming from the Texan fan.
I was about to say that
OL was horrible. Like,
I was about to say, I mean, we don't look very much better than that.
Okay,
so.
at least we have a little bit of direction. Like we have Nick Martin who can stick around, and Davenport who looks promising. Their whole offensive line, or well, not whole. What's his name? Richburg, I think his name is.
Who?
It's like Weston. I want to say like Weston Richburg or something like that.
Yeah, he's a project guy. He's a tackle that was on practice squad for a little bit. Yeah, again, man, with Newton coming back and Quiz coming back, I say the right guard position's up for grabs. Unless they go and sign someone like Pugh, to me, it's just I don't know, man. You've got anything is better than signing Suicide-ass. If they re-sign Suafilo, I don't know. I don't know what to say if that happens. I really don't.
I'm telling you right now, if they do that, Brian Dane, like I'm already giving him some good marks by letting Brian Cushing go because we didn't even know if Brian Cushing would even be offered this football team. People could sit here and say, "Oh, I knew Brian Cushing was be gone." Bullshit, because at the end of the day, this Texas organization has always retained its good guys, regardless of whatever they've ever done on this football team. They've always been retained. So the fact that these guys don't make any noise and we making a lot of moves, who's to say that Brian Gaines is like? Hopefully, Brian Gaines is just like, bro, you made a mistake and we getting the fuck up out of here. I don't care what you say. Hopefully, he handles him like that.
And for the record, since we're talking about O-line, and I know Honcho wants to kind of maybe run this back down and kind of shut it down, but for the record, Greg Mance did not look good at guard when he did come in at guard.
He needs to be a center.
That man is a center, period. So I know everyone wants to give him a shot at left guard or right guard, but I'm telling you, it'll be kind of like another Ben Jones kind of thing. Better at center, not so good at guard.
And Ed, man, where have you been the way you don't know why Ray hates Suafilo? Like, where have you been? Like, we've been talking about this for, like, how long now? Like,
3 years.
He hates. It's not that Ray doesn't hate Suafilo for his run blocking ability, his road grading, and when he pulls, it's the fact that his pass pro is just abysmal, bro. Like, it just is. It's too many breakdowns. It's too many fundamental issues. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to pass pro, and he doesn't have the feet for it.
No, he does.
That's what it boils down to.
I found something that's talking about the Giants are wanting to move on from Justin Pugh and replace him with Norwell. So it's looking like he's going to be a free agent.
Good.
Norwell is going to command so much. Honestly, I'm expecting Norwell to get signed before anybody in free agency.
Well, his market value right now is 11.7. He's probably going to want $12 million for about 5 years.
Well,
he can get that, and that's no problem. That's not even, honestly, bro. That's not even that bad of a deal.
No, it's not.
Who's the top paid offensive lineman in the league right now?
That would be Tyron Smith.
I honest, because with how the NFL goes, I see Norwell saying, "Hey, pay me the most like pay me to be the top guy in the league. Like, because it seems like it's every single time someone gets a deal, at least the top guys, it's setting the bar even higher.
Yeah.
Like DeAndre Hopkins.
Ed Man is asking a question saying, but Su'a-Filo has potential. Why give up on him now? Guards take years to develop. First off, offensive linemen take years to develop. There's very few offensive linemen, especially considering the fact that they have the least amount of contact in training camps and all of this and that. The only thing they can do is work on their technique. So since you can only work on your technique, and his technique has not improved vastly over each and every season that he's been in the Houston Texans uniform, I can look at it from a couple of ways. One, the scheme doesn't suit him, which is and the fact we run a power scheme, but we don't really run power plays like power O. We don't run that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't run a lot of things that contribute. To be honest, we don't even play under center as much as we should. And everybody knows, and Ray can attest to this, guards and O-linemen play way better when they're under center versus when they're playing versus playing shotgun and playing in pistol formations and stuff like that. Right or wrong?
It's a whole different beast, man. It's a whole different ball game.
The timing is way better. The timing is way better when you're under center and when you're in an I formation, when you're in strong I, and when you have fullbacks and you have tight ends on the end of your formations. So the fact that we don't even run a lot of things we don't run a lot of formations that way, that also hinders Su'a-Filo along with everybody else that we have on the O-line. That's why I'm saying you have to look at the totality of what Bill O'Brien does, and that's why I say he's not a good football coach.
Well, you have to think about it this way: when we're talking about free agents, right? Especially when it comes to Norrell's contract, he's projected his market value is 11.7, right? But let me put you in this perspective. Kevin Zeitler, guard from the Browns.
Yeah, I know.
Is the same age, has been in the league the same amount of years, and got $12.4 million per year for 5 years.
So Zach Martin.
Cleveland. Okay, Joe Thomas, Biantonio, Zeitler, Mack. They all make double digits in salary. Just put that in perspective.
Well, I see Edman saying we should be patient with him.
We've been patient for 4 years. What are you fucking talking about? Be patient with him. Oh, dude, are you kidding me?
Man, I had saw that somebody about Su'a-Filo having a mean streak.
He does have a mean streak when it comes to pulling guards.
Man, I have an inside source that Su'a-Filo is a very nice guy. He's a very nice Mormon guy, and
Mormon.
I don't know about Su'a-Filo being.
Su'a-Filo has a warm heart.
Yes, he's a very nice gentleman. Look, here's my thing about Su'a-Filo, man. Not knocking no Mormons. I'm just cracking jokes because some Mormons came to my door and they were talking about Su'a-Filo. But I just don't see it, though. Like, regardless of as much as, as a positive as they say that he is in the run game, he's that much of a void, if not more, in the passing game.
Look, Edmund, Luke Joker was a career left tackle before he went to Seattle. What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Yes, he was.
Are you kidding me right now? You took him 1 year to kick ass in left guard before Seattle. He's been a career left tackle. Ask J.J. Watt. He's been bitch slapping him ever since he was a rookie. Are you kidding me?
Now watch
that's a nonsense.
Real family. I ain't never give Su'a-Filo no problem. I gave Kevin Johnson. I had faith in Kevin Johnson, and I was severely disappointed. I didn't see him falling off the map the way that he did. But I ain't never give Su'a-Filo no props, no shit like he gonna be the next fucking Zach Martin. Not even close.
Oh God, Mr. Asian Pikachu just said something that is gonna fucking terrify me. They said if next year we have Kendall Lamb at left tackle and Su'a-Filo at left guard, oh God.
Lamb is a free agent, if I'm not mistaken. If they re-sign him, somebody on that coaching staff is smoking dope, not marijuana. They're smoking crack cocaine. Yeah, that motherfucker coming. If Kendall Lamb is in the Texans uniform next year, somebody.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, what? I just watched that motherfucking skit.
Done anything for us except be like, what was that one catch as a tight end or something?
I don't even know.
Like what he hasn't.
Yeah,
he's horrible.
That dude,
Okay, so
like he could.
So Edmund says pass blocking is hard to develop. Su'Fila can still be solid, Ray. All right.
No, he cannot.
I'm going to explain this to the people in the back because apparently we're going to have to go over this shit. Pass blocking for a guard should be easy compared to run blocking for a guard.
And I played guard before, so yes.
I did too. And I'm telling you right now, run blocking as a guard is a lot harder than pass blocking. You have two guys beside you. You have a tackle to your left or right and a center to your left or right. You have two guys. You are responsible for two different holes. That is real simple. All you have to do is just at least chip block a blitzing linebacker. And then pass blocking is pretty simple as a guard. But you can't sit there and tell me that after 4 years of watching blitzes come up the middle against Houston, that he is a I don't know.
And Ed, man, and I can seal this for you, and I can seal this for you in another way, Ed, man. Okay.
Got Houston on my back, because I love the city I'm from. Hands up if you feel that.
Xavier Swab,
why is he let dudes? Why is it? And why? And where's his awareness when the A gap and the B gaps break down? Where's he then?
That's just woo. Okay. On to the next.
How often have we seen the A and B gaps?
Oh my God!
How often have we seen the A? How many times have we seen the A and B gaps break down when his responsibilities when it comes to pass pro?
Yo, Ed, man, I don't know where are you getting this stuff because he just said y'all are some Su'Fila haters. Su'Fila still has potential to be a good, solid guard. Some players are late bloomers, and he's going to thrive next year. Where?
I hope so. With another team.
Where did they get that?
No, hey, you know what? No, he will never be the player that Ed man. I'm not discounting that Xavier Su'Fila won't be better later on in his career, but it won't be with the Houston Texans. And at the end of the day, we don't have the personnel, and Mike Devlin is not the man to get it done. Let's just be real. Mike Devlin Devlin's
a horrible offensive line coach, bro.
No, and the offensive line coach we had before Devlin was way better.
Yeah, a lot better.
But can he juggle? That's what matters.
Yeah, did you see that shit?
Yeah.
That Super Bowl shit. He had them fools juggling fucking tennis balls while pass proing.
Yeah.
I was like, man, this is not the fucking circus. What is this dude doing, man? I couldn't believe it.
Why are you so loud? Lower your tone.
Oh, J. Cole, fresh out of concert, y'all. Cold World. How you doing this evening?
You look like you got a haircut, too.
No, I did not get a haircut, you asshole.
Oh, you just combed your hair. All right, my bad.
Yeah, for the first time.
For the first time.
my mom
in a long time.
Oh, man.
No, because at the end of the day, Ed, man, you really don't realize how many veteran free agents, and you don't understand how many guys we already have that can play at the guard position. Nick Martin is honestly interchangeable, along with other guys that we have on this team, and we're talking about what can be done in free agency. And a lot of these guys are going to go into the second and third weeks and are going to have low contracts on top of the draft picks that we have that we're going to end up fulfilling the rest of the depth, plus undrafted free agents and guys you're just going to pick off the street, because we're going to end up having 90 guys on this roster soon. So you're going to have various positions. You're going to be bringing dudes in and out of the lineups, and you're going to be able to obtain other people from other teams. So you don't have to worry about signing or making a mistake by re-signing Xavier Su'Fila to some absorbing the contract when just about everybody wants him gone. It's just not. I understand what you're saying, that he could get better, but he's not even a Brandon Brooks,
bro.
He's not even a Wade Smith. He's not even a Chester Pitts.
Su'Fila is better than most guards on the market. Be real, especially since Su'Fila. What?
Where are you getting, like...
Oh, my God, dude.
Better than who?
Like, are things okay, Ed?
Better than who?
Like, do you need to talk? Like...
Man,
that's no guard.
You got to give me some examples.
I'm not even a fan of Pro Football Focus. I can't even believe I'm even giving them any shine. I can't even believe I'm even saying their names right now. But it's just like, bro, They know what they talking about when it comes to Xavier Su'a-Filo, bro. And they know exactly what they're talking about, and they give him more than enough shine when he's in run blocking mode. When this man pulls,
Exactly.
he's probably better than anybody in the league. He has a lot of speed.
King 88 said it. King 88 said it already. Norwell is younger than Su'a-Filo, and he was an all-pro.
Yeah,
at the same position. Dude, come on, man.
And look what
honestly,
you're making me compliment Pro Football Focus.
Like
honestly, bro, if we all being real, we all smart enough to know that Xavier Su'a-Filo in our scheme is playing out of position. He's supposed to be a right guard, but they got him playing left guard. Just like they got Jeff Allen playing right guard when he's supposed to be playing left guard. Like, we know what the real problem is. It's our head coach. He doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. Here.
And I know I got in here late, bro, but what y'all feel about that Marcus Peters trade? What y'all make out of that?
Man.
I make of it that the Rams don't think Tremaine Johnson's all that, and they think they can do better.
That's kind of what I thought.
At the end of the day, I feel like this. His talent's going to get wasted because Wade Phillips runs way too much man, and he's not going to be able – I mean, he runs way too much man. So Marcus Peters is going to be left out on the island a little bit too much when he can play a lot of man, zone, and press, because we all know that he doesn't press a whole lot. He plays off. You know what I'm saying?
But do you think they get more production out of Marcus Peters than they can get out of Tremaine
I just don't know.
Because that's the real question. I'm feeling like if they're going to make this trade and they're going to do it to that extent, that means they must see something that Marcus Peters can produce better than Tremaine Johnson, and they're willing to let Tremaine Johnson walk in free agency.
If anything, it'd probably be the turnovers.
Yeah, his turnovers speak for itself.
Like, Marcus Peters gets a lot more.
Yeah. Forced fumbles, other stuff. He's aggressive off the edge. He's like, he can cover. He can also come up and hit you too and force a fumble. I think they probably get better production out of Marcus Peters than they do Tremaine Johnson, honestly, in my opinion.
Well, I also think that Marcus Peters is a better overall corner than Tremaine Johnson is.
Yes, exactly.
So I think as long as they don't try to use him in the wrong way, I think he'll be an upgrade. Put it like that.
Yeah, most definitely.
Hey, did the market value go up on those corners?
I haven't even checked in a while.
Last time I checked, I haven't seen like no increase or anything like crazy or anything.
Let's see.
I'm looking it up right now.
Butler market value. Let's see. Spot Rack has Malcolm Butler's average market value at $13 million a year.
Huh. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's interesting.
See.
Wow.
Tremaine
Johnson's 13.6 for 5 years.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep.
Y'all forgive me. I've been doing some tomfoolery in the background there. Who would I let be head coach? Wow. Bob or Ray Ray? I'd give Ray Ray a 1-year deal. A prove-it deal at head coach.
Contract. I'll fuck that
up. Let's have a. Hey Ray Ray, you want to be a OL coach?
Yeah, I'll be an OL coach. I got no problem with that. OL or DL.
His contract is 2 bags of Ruffles a week.
You get trying to shortchange my man. Said I was thinking at least 3.
Wait, are we talking about like regular bags of Ruffles, or we're talking about like the family packs?
Nah, he get the family pack. They come in the variety pack, bro.
No, I want them shits you get at the Sam's Club, homie.
I go as far as take you straight to the corner store and let you pick out 3 grab bags, man.
Honcho gonna be walking in down there. You can have it.
I'll let him go to Sonny's, bro. And let him
yeah. Hey, Ferocious, put it out there. What are my incentives, though? I need incentives here, man.
Those were the incentive-laden contracts, huh? I may be willing to throw in some cheese dip.
Bag of chips for pancakes.
More than twice a week, boy, you get a bag of Cheetos as an extra.
And you make it fun, and you got a deal. We'll shake on that bitch right now.
A 1-liter soda. You know what I'm saying? That shit.
Boys don't even want the 64 ounce. They both want the 32. Fuck it.
Man. But look at fellas, man. We done ran this up in some change. It's all good. Like I said, it's always good conversation. You know, ain't no reason to stop the flow. You can't stop it when you're lost in the sauce. But I'm gonna call it a wrap. I got to figure out. I need to get in touch with Man Things. I know somebody asked if it was going to be a Sauce Society. I know it's a little bit later than anticipated. If it's not a Sauce Society, we'll definitely be doing a Cush Den. Is anybody else planning on streaming this evening?
You know what? Yes, I'm gonna throw a stream out. Okay. I got something I gotta address.
Streaming, bro. Okay. Nobody wanna watch this shit.
Well, here's the deal. So Ray said he's gonna stream up next. Make sure y'all hit that. I have not said this, I don't think, the whole time, and I apologize. I need to remind y'all because I know y'all don't be thinking right and y'all don't read good. Make sure you hit that description box below, man, and check out all the Texans Tubers. All the links are there. All the feature channels are all the Texans Tubers. I know you might have to shuffle through it because I have so many on there that it said it can't show them all at once. So sometimes it'll be different names or whatever on there. But make sure you check them all out. No excuses. Like I said, Ray said he's going to be doing some streaming up next, so make sure you subscribe to him. And make sure you don't miss that because Ray always dropping some very good gems. You're gonna come into a situation. You're going to lead a situation a little bit more knowledgeable than you were when you came in, because Ray gonna make sure you drop some facts and figures on your ass, so you can't be out there trying to debate and be irate. You know what I'm saying? Because he's gonna hit you with the facts. So there's no debating the facts. Like I said, J. Cole just got at a concert, but I'm glad he joined us anyway. So shout out to Screwster. You know what I'm saying? Anything anybody want to say before we get up out of here?
I got a video dropping tomorrow.
Okay. Spitz. Yeah, shout out to Spitz, man, for coming through and showing some love. This your first time on with us on the round table, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Spitz.
What you think, man?
What's up?
What you think?
Oh yeah, I like y'all. Y'all are very entertaining.
For sure. Yeah, we try to be. We try
Man,
to
this
be.
is what we provide, like, hey, y'all ain't no GM or nothing, but man, y'all cool shit. Fuck it.
Damn.
Y'all I guess.
We trying to get up there. We try to work our way up there. Man, shout out to Darren for not wanting to hold down the MB conversation, even though this is his time to shine. You know what I'm saying? But he don't want no credit for it. He don't want nothing to do with it. You know, this little light of mine, I'm not gonna let it shine.
Why, Honcho? Why?
Because man, you are MB. You are the MB conversation in Houston, Texas. Nobody else can take credit.
I am not the MVP for MB, man.
You are the MB conversation in Houston, Texas. No one can take.
You
kind
of are, Darren. Like nobody was talking about this shit until you brought it up.
I didn't even fucking think about him until I started like seeing your shit, like your videos on Martavis Bryant. I didn't start thinking about him at all. I was like,
the most I ever saw of Martavis Bryant was on Madden. Let's just be real.
Well, damn, I mean, shit.
But we just saying, man, that's your claim. Like this is your take that you can stake your claim on, because if something happens, if the wind blows through the willows and the leaves fall just right, and whatever the little wise men do with the tea leaves to read the future and all of that shit fall in place, man. You could be the one who said it for over a year. You know what I'm saying? This could be that take that you could really, you always say, man, I should have I told y'all about this one, but these are players that never end up in Houston, so it's not really proven that you were correct. It's an assumption, but this is a situation.
Speculation. The fact you've speculated it to a different point that nobody else would.
Yeah. Don't forget, Bucky Hodges might come here too.
Oh yeah. Hey, we do need tight ends.
Hey,
he's for real.
All I'm saying.
Don't count out Ladarius Green either.
Hold on. Since we on this subject, man, shout out to Parrish, man. He's the real MVP. And he know what I'm talking about.
What happened? Have y'all played yet? That's what I'm curious to know. Have y'all had the Madden battle yet? I've been curious to see what's supposed to take place in that.
Yeah,
situation.
y'all are in Sticky's Madden League, right?
Yeah, I'm for
we should play. We gonna end up playing. I think week 10.
Hey, y'all gotta upload that shit. Let everybody see.
Make sure, yeah.
All right, cool.
I'm trying to check this.
Yeah, I
shit
think
out.
we play week 6 or 12 or some shit like that. I play Sticky week 8 though. I know that for sure.
Oh yeah, Honcho. Don't think I'm gonna let you get out of 2K.
We can make a shake. We can see what we got to do to make that happen. Because I definitely I took an L on that one. The only person I think I played was Wise, and Wise beat me. So So yeah, definitely I gotta get my game up, but we can definitely get that in, man. So you know, I gotta rejuvenate my legacy as a digital sports player because the real physical thing ain't gonna happen. So
I'm gonna have to win by 50, Honcho.
Oh no, that ain't gonna happen. I can't go out like that. I'm
gonna go Brooklyn Nets. I'm gonna win by 50.
All I'm saying is all I gotta do is figure out that intentional foul button. I start doing motherfuckers like I would in real life. How do I undercut this motherfucker? How do I injure deliberately?
You go you're
about to pull
yeah, exactly. Where is the elbow drop button? I'm looking for the specific injuries and shit. But that's what's up, man. So like I say, anybody else got anything they want to shout out before we get out of here? Let Ray get going, and I'm sliding the Cush in. If anybody else
hashtag fuck Sue suck ass. Hashtag feed Scotty.
Yeah, I just another job well done. You know what I'm saying? I'm just glad I can participate, you know, and be a part of the process along with all the rest of you guys. Y'all bring everything to the table, you know what I'm saying, so we can have one complete thought. You know what I'm saying? So we'll keep this shit moving in the right way, and I can't wait till next Sunday so we can give another good ass show.
Okay. And while I got y'all here, matter of fact, like I say, the draft, don't know the exact day. I want to say it's either Wednesday or Thursday. Not the draft, the fucking combine. Wednesday or Thursday. Are you guys interested in doing something like maybe like a combine recap? You know, at the end of the day, I know they say everybody has different schedules and things, but if that's something y'all be interested in, Sauce Nation, if y'all are interested in something like that, man, hit that 1. If y'all aren't interested, drop a 2 in the chat. So if y'all want us to do something like daily combine related, hit the 1 button. If y'all just only want us to do 1 round table, hit the 2 button. Let us know how y'all feel about that.
If that falls in on a Wednesday, I don't mind sharing the spotlight with anybody else on the round table so we can discuss some of these processes. I really don't. I mean, go ahead. We can go ahead and link that on up. We can go ahead and give our thoughts and see, you know, because it could be something we don't catch, and it may be some shit, you know, like a weed test or something like that. And I'm hoping plenty of those happen, the top prospects, so that they can fall in the later round.
Hey, Quentin Nelson needs to start smoking some weed. Yeah. He needs to start. Yeah.
He needs to do a line of coke.
Oh yeah.
And he needs to punch somebody in the eye.
Exactly.
To punch a female in the face.
Look, they had this little thing that they had on the internet to where you could fake people and all kind of shit because a bunch of people was catching them celebrities with them fake porno movies. Somebody need to go take some of these athletes and put their face in some of these other motherfucking movie scenes, make it look like they're really doing this shit.
Bro, you trying to Michael Sam?
Hey, now I don't want to Michael Sam though, but I ain't trying to do all that. I'm not saying put them in a porno movie, but you can find a drug scene or some shit like that, and you fucking go put them in Scarface or something, and just take that scene out and be like, oh, this motherfucker's in a face full of coke. Kick him out the draft. We'll pick him up as an undrafted free agent or some shit.
Whatever happened to that dude? He was out of the league so fast.
Did he even play his first year?
Nope.
I'm pretty sure he went through preseason, and then he
got a sack in the preseason. That's all I know. And
he was already trying to capitalize. He knew he wasn't good enough to be in the league. His whole thing was trying to. That's why he did the gay shit on the fucking thing. It wasn't about, you know, trying to break no barriers or nothing. It was about getting as much attention as he could because he tried to have the fucking the damn show before he even got drafted. Shit, he tried to have a fucking reality show and shit.
I think he's in like the Canadian football league.
I was just saying that he in the CFL right now. He ain't on no team right now, but he trying out for teams and stuff like that.
Yeah, like last thing I saw was he had like a workout for one of the teams. That's the last thing I saw.
Michael Sam can't even make the league that they played in on Starship Troopers. Like, that's how trash
But, babe, right. Michael Sam is sitting somewhere right now talking, Wink, stop.
No.
Hey, she do that shit too good.
Dude, fucking Michael Sam calling in on the Sauceline right now.
He gonna call the Sauceline and something. I know Daniel Cormier is not out there.
Wait, no. Hey, I would lose my mind if I heard Michael Sam go, "You tell me."
Oh man, he probably sitting somewhere talking about, "I said that first."
Yeah.
He's probably mad.
You never know. Him and Jalen.
Where you think Jalen got it from?
That's fucking funny. Well, that's a BET, man. I want to say thank you to everybody in the round table for joining into this super saucy Sunday night, man. We appreciate y'all tuning in to the Sauce Sports Network, man. Like I say, everybody bringing their own flavor. Everybody in the chat. That's Darren and his haircut and phone. That's everybody. Like I say, who took the time out. Like I say, over 2 hours and some change to come. Just spend some time, like I say, not just with me, but with Sauce Nation, man, and really spill a little bit of flavor on these Texans. Yes, I saw somebody comment earlier. Yes, the Rockets are number one. That's why we had a Rockets pregame show. But, Sunday nights we do the Texans roundtable, so we got to make sure we stay up to date on that. But shout out to the fucking Rockets. Even though they played a sloppy game today, they still got a 12-game winning streak.
They got the dub. That's all that matters.
I ain't going to lie, though. Like, when Darren clicks online and you can hear him, like, his phone do sound like a bug zapper though. Like, I'm not gonna lie. We not gonna lie and make this shit up. Like, he can go back on the stream and hear every time when he goes unmuted, he can clearly hear this. Some kind of, it's only his, I don't know, only his phone is the only phone capable of making this cricket noise.
So Darren got an app we ain't got yet. He got a brand new app that's Zap, man.
Yeah.
Coming soon to a phone near you.
Hey, look, I'm just saying, hey, if you a developer, you create that. Look, I'm telling you, if you'd have made an app that's Zap, you about to be a millionaire, my nigga. I'm just saying, shit. You ain't even got to have no off or nothing like that. You just got the phone. You cut the right app on. You start knocking them out.
Darren gonna be able to buy the Texans soon if he got that.
Then he gonna make all them moves he said he was gonna make. We thought he was just over here talking shit.
Hey, y'all gonna be the coaching staff. The round table gonna be the coaching staff. Y'all
figure out have a fat ass paycheck.
That probably one of the most disappointing coaching staff ever.
I don't want nothing to do with no wide receiver. I don't want to be nowhere near the offense because as soon as one of y'all motherfuckers pass up on MB, that's your ass, Mr. Postman. Y'all, as soon as y'all got that job, y'all
like that Dolphins coach snorting that whole line and shit.
Man, shout out to everybody who been watching this shit for the last 2 hours. I know y'all sauce rewards gotta be off the fucking chain. I mean, I know Honcho closed the damn bank a long time ago.
I done dropped a little flavor on them. I done dropped some extra rewards for everybody who been sticking super tough.
But Honcho like Mr. Krabs. He don't want nobody to have
I'm already peeping look, y'all can't have the recipe, man. Look, this look. Like I got the Krabby Patty recipe put away. Y'all can have all the sauce. Y'all just can't have the recipe, man.
Man, I need my sauce, even though I got this shit on the YouTube because I ain't commented on nothing but shit. I need to get my shit too.
I want to post something, but I don't want to just post a video to post one. I want it to be something I actually give a shit about. Like the only thing relevant to Houston in the past couple days has been the assistant coach getting re-signed and Blake Bortles.
I honestly think that's why I've been bullshitting on doing videos this past week because honestly nothing Texans related has really happened.
Yeah,
I think that's why, and I don't really want to speak on like everybody else. I'll just talk about that on here on the roundtable on a Wednesday show or something like that. But like in terms of my own channel, I don't really want to give the rest of the NFL any shine because it's all about H-Town. So.
Well, I mean,
there's no point.
Yeah, I mean, I want to post about stuff that I like and I care about and, stuff like that. If I don't really care about something, I'm not going to be that interested in making the video, and I feel like I'm going to kind of, like, slack off on it,
Yeah, I feel the same way.
Because you always want to be having the right energy about how you approach the stuff. That's key to
it. Yeah, I can't post no videos because Ray said I'm using all the Wi-Fi connection in the
house. like
come on, install him out.
I mean, luckily I got the Dynamo, so
motherfucker.
Yeah, I thought you had posted your video.
I'm trying to start paying a little bit of attention to the Stros and try to keep my eye on U of H over there with everything that's going on because with tournament selection in a couple of weeks, U of H gonna hold it down. They should be in that thing.
Yeah, UH basketball team just broke the top 25 for the first time in over a decade.
For TSU for the women's basketball team, Joy she just dropped 1,500 points and she's only a junior.
Oh, that's a girl from Port Arthur, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, she cold with it. I see you asked about the Cush Den. Yeah, because
That's my friend. You got. I gotta show love for my friend.
Look, I've been watching a little bit of. I've been paying a little bit of attention. I'm gonna get back on the podcast starting tomorrow. I've been slacking, like I said, because of the news. It kind of died down. And I was gonna get back on it kind of at the weekend, but I'm gonna start off on the Monday, start everything right. So I have the podcast back going. I think we'll go ahead and do a Cush Den. I haven't really talked to Man Things about doing the Sauceline tonight, and I didn't plan on staying on too late. It's already going to be 11. So we may do a den, and then I'll talk to Man Things about maybe see if we can slide the Sauce Society in sometime this week.
I always forget that y'all like an hour behind me.
Yeah, me too. Shit, I'm on Easter Standard Time.
Screen name origins for the round
it's
table.
midnight here.
Okay.
So.
Yeah.
Let y'all make it. Okay, I see real quick last from the J Deals. They say screen name origins for the round table. I'm not sure exactly what you mean, like who everybody is.
I think he's talking about like where our names came from. Okay. I think that's what.
Well, when I was born, my dad named me after him.
Okay. I can relate to that.
Like my name came from a rapper from EPMD, nigga, Paris Smith, nigga. That's where my name came from.
Wait, does anybody know my actual real name? Have I said
fuck your real name.
I think I have it.
His real name is Affleck.
Like, how does he?
Affleck.
How the fuck? Why is Citizens got damn near 25,000 stars? Like, how?
Because he be doing that flip coin and winning all the time.
Yeah, you gotta
Bro,
flip.
I try to do that flip coin shit, and that shit don't never work. Like, it's always I lost.
Your name is garbage, bro. I'm the only one who really came from the bottom.
That shit don't work,
flip
bro.
Coin all the way up, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know yet. Wise hit a lick on y'all real quick, because Wise, he was lower down the level, but he didn't came up. All I'm saying is he in second place right now.
Like, I bet you, bro, nigga, this shit rigged, bro. It's all about white privilege. I bet you Ray got more points than all of us right now.
This motherfucker say the fucking Sauce Bank. Yes, it's still a bank. You know, you black at the bank, you ain't getting no love. So, yeah, what it is.
Keep talking that shit, you sideshow Bob looking motherfucker.
Flip coin don't work, bro. I'm
Flip
sorry,
coin.
bro. Hector even trying to do this shit.
Y'all Negroes out there gambling illegally.
We're all right now.
It's hard for us minorities.
He just got 40 sauce. Like, that ain't
Yeah,
nothing,
shit.
bro. What is 40 sauce gonna do? Nothing. 40 sauce ain't gonna help you. Shit.
Yeah, you gotta
Not
go
enough
big,
more.
man.
No, I just flipped coin like 3K sauce and I lost again. So I'm back to 0.
All right, Darren Davis. So where did your screen name come from?
Hold on, who you say?
Darren.
Nah.
Darren Davis, you're not gonna tell us where your screen name originates from?
Nigga, that's my government name.
Shit. Mine is self-explanatory. We third coast born, we Texas raised. I just put the sports TV at the end, you know, and keep it H-Town across the board. And I'm a South Sider too, so you know that explains everything.
I'm just a real nigga, so you know, it's some Scrooston shit, you know. You know what I'm saying? But just go sub to my channel, please. I really appreciate it.
Scrooston doesn't even gem. He don't
and
gem
special
screw or
shout
Swisher
out
House.
to
He only gem
everybody,
belt
man.
wig.
I done touched over 100. That's the only video I'm gonna make this week, unless it's any Texas related move. I'm gonna make a video just thanking everybody for helping me get over 100 subscribers on my second channel, man. So I appreciate that. I appreciate it, and I did that days ago. I just didn't even say nothing about it. But yeah, like, man, I appreciate everybody subscribe to this channel, and y'all keep subscribing, man.
I think I just hit 50 actually.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm sitting at like 70 or something, so it's cool.
I just hit 50.
Alright, so make sure y'all showing love, man. Ain't no excuse for y'all not to be subscribed to all these channels. Y'all fucking with the round table, y'all need to be fucking with all these channels too. That's what I say, man. If it ain't y'all should never ever run out of Texans information, news, videos, because like I said, it's always some type of action coming your way. But with that being said, we've been calling it a wrap for the last little while now. I'm gonna really slide up out of here. I want to say thank you to everybody in the round table. I want to say thank you to everybody who came through to the chat, everybody who stuck out the whole time, and y'all some super troopers. We're gonna slide in the den for a little bit. Ray, you said you're still going. I think you said you're gonna cancel it for tonight.
No, he's not gonna do one tonight.
I saw something in the chat about him canceling it.
No, I got to do some research before I do it. So no.
Okay. And that's what I tell y'all. Y'all gotta fuck with Ray. He ain't gonna just tell you just know anything. You know what I'm saying? You know it's gonna be real.
He ain't gonna tell you what you want to hear. He gonna tell you how it is.
Yeah, exactly.
And apparently something's working. I thank all you guys because now I'm at 263 in subscribers. That's way up. Okay. I didn't even know that until just now.
Okay. So you're not gonna stream? You acting like
I'm not gonna stream tonight, man.
Well, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. We're gonna keep trucking, keep getting it. Gotta get these numbers up. You know what I'm saying? But
holy shit, I didn't even see that until just now.
That being said, man, I want to say thank you to everybody. I want to say thank you to all you, the new sauce, the old sauce, everybody who's been stirring the flavor. What March 10th will be close to a year that I've been doing this personally. But I just want to say appreciate it. But with that being said, man, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. If you really love what's going on, consider hitting that patreon.com/saucesports and consider making the flex to the sauce. But outside of that, we're chunking up the deuce. I'll see y'all in the Cushing in just a few. Yeah, I'll be cool. Let's stay saucy. We out.